I'm looking
Virginia.
for him.
I know, ENAC, ISIS, guys. I need. Okay, so let me ask you, Eddie. We just talked about Pitt. If Virginia is going to pull this off here in their house against a ranked team, what do they got to do?
You got to protect the quarterback. It all starts up front, and if you can't protect Calandria, then you don't really stand a chance in here. I feel like it's going to be a rocking environment. A lot of fans here. The student section is going to be going crazy, so it starts up front with UVA.
I didn't hear the question because I was too worried about falling off the chair after the national.
For Virginia to pull this off tonight, what do you got?
Virginia, quarterback's got to play good.
Yeah.
Dana, thanks very much, and we welcome you to where the Three Rivers meet. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, our venue tonight. ACC Network primetime. The Pitt Panthers, number 18 in the first college football playoff poll, host the Virginia Cavaliers. And on a weekend where we salute America's heroes with Tom Lugan, Bill West Durham, Dana Boyle in just a moment. And we thank those of you that have protected the freedom of this country and those that are currently doing so as well. And we welcome you to an interesting day in the ACC. And we get the nightcap tonight because starting at noon today in Atlanta, a little bit of upheaval was created, Lugs. And now all of a sudden we can show you these updated standings after Clemson's win in Blacksburg. And my goodness, we may have a race to the tape for the ACC championship.
Well, things get really interesting in November, right? Regardless of conference affiliation, this is where you have to be peaking. This is where you have to be playing your best football if you want to put yourself in the race towards the end. So as these standings, we take a look at them here. You look at those records down the stretch. Who was helped the most by today's outcomes?
Well, SMU had the best bye week of any team in America.
No doubt.
And they get Boston College next Saturday in Dallas. Pitt and Clemson play here next Saturday. That's a big game. Miami has a bye week before they finish with games against Wake Forest and Syracuse. So what's all that mean? Well, Pat Narduzzi, whose team did not have a great Saturday night in Dallas, now has a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. We are. And Eli Holstein's going to be a big part of the chance.
It begins with the offensive line and Eli Holstein and what he brings to the table when it comes to the automatics, meaning you got to make the automatics automatic. He did not do that last week. You take a look at this first throw right there into the dirt, an easy pitch and catch. Gets back, good protection. He's got the throw in the flat, but he doesn't take what the defense gives him. And this was an offense that never got into rhythm a week ago, and you've got to make, again, the simple plays. Make them routinely. You see Des Reed out here into the flat, throws the ball right into the dirt. So expect tonight for Pitt to come out offensively and really simplify and get early confidence throws for Eli Holstein so that they start in rhythm, not out of sync.
You see the numbers from the first 7 games, and while the total yardage is not that far off, the percentage is way off, and his efficiency wasn't nearly what it had been. And it's been a struggle and a bit of inconsistent in the ACC for Eli Holstein, the redshirt freshman. Now for Tony Elliott and Virginia, they come here tonight, Tom, with kind of an interesting agenda. They want to get to the postseason. They've got 3 difficult games left to go after tonight. And for Anthony Calandria and the Cavaliers, they're talking about consistency.
Well, it's consistency, and it's getting healthy up front. They're coming off of a bye week that couldn't have happened at a better time. Remember, they found out about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday before their game versus North Carolina, they weren't going to have their center, Brian Stevens. What did that do? It resulted in 10 sacks. You look at the numbers here for the UVA offense. It's all about the ability to run the football and the ability to protect the football. If the offensive line is back in place, I think they'll run it better tonight with Xavier Brown, but Anthony Calandria is the engine that makes this thing go, and he has to make good decisions.
You see the difference statistically in wins and losses, especially the turnover margin, and Dana is with the Wahoos head coach.
Coach Elliott, as a head coach, you're 3-0 off a bye, and your Wahoo suffered a one-sided defeat last time out. What do you hope your team plays with tonight?
Just a ton of effort, a ton of discipline, a lot of belief, and lastly, a bunch of toughness.
You made it very clear Anthony Calandria is your starting quarterback. How do you find him rhythm tonight in the offense?
Well, you know, they're going to stop the run, so we got to find some easy throws and get him going early and get him into the game and then let him go play his game.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dana, thanks, and thanks to Tony Elliott for the visit. Nate Black, the referee, conducting the coin toss. You may have seen the paratroopers land here at Acrisure Stadium as well, and there is a look at Calandria, the sophomore from St. Petersburg, Florida, went to Lakewood High School, who will make his 13th straight start tonight. Pitt won the toss and has elected to receive. So Pat Narduzzi's team is going to take the football first, and we told you at the top, as we honor America's heroes, we even had skydivers, Tom, land here on the playing surface.
Not one, but 6 skydivers. All of them hit the mark because they're professionals. Not only delivering the game ball, but delivering the American flag.
So we're ready to go. This will be the 15th meeting between the two. First in a couple of years. Pitt's won the last 2 and 6 of 7. And the Panthers come here. They've won 6 straight home games, 13 of their last 18. Meanwhile, Virginia trying to snap a 3-game skid. They're 3 and 6 in Tony Elliott's 9 ACC road games as the Cavaliers head coach. And you see deep. Pitt has put Tyreek Robinson, who we saw last Saturday night in Dallas, rip off a 35-yarder. That's Robinson, number 24, to the far side. And to the near side, they have plugged in Derek Davis, the running back. Daniel Sparks, 6'6" punter, gets us started tonight from Pittsburgh. And this will be Robinson off the far side. Hits the 15 and out across the 20 goes the freshman Tyreek Robinson. And here comes Eli Holstein, Tom, and the Pitt Panthers.
Eli Holstein, former 5th-ranked quarterback in the class of 2022, originally signed with Alabama. A huge pickup in the transfer portal for these Panthers. He's gotten off to a terrific start. And here tonight, what you're going to expect to see, at least early on, is they're not going to shift. They're not going to motion. They're not going to do as much pre-snap because they want a clean picture for Eli Holstein to gain some confidence and to get into rhythm.
That's Reed out of the backfield. And we get a whistle. And right off the top, here's referee Nate Black. So the penalty against Poppy Williams, the wide receiver. Looking for an early start, maybe off the boundary side.
Well, it just frustrates you so much. You're coming off of the sideline as an offense. You're not huddling, and you line up. You know exactly what the play call is. There's no excuse for a pre-snap penalty there. Now you're backed up. It's 1st and 15.
Holstein set 3 receivers here to the field. Now he's going to adjust Johnson on the boundary and Reed. They come set. Here's the 1st and 15 look, and Holstein is going to slide out, pick up by maybe back to the original line at the 21, ahead of Trey McDonald, the linebacker, who was lurking. Now it's 2nd down and 9, or right at 10 rather.
It's a little bit of a low snap there. I like, though, how Eli Holstein didn't take any risk with the football by throwing it in coverage. Takes 5, gets back.
Here's Holstein. Again to the right, going to sail it downfield. Caught. Williams, nope, dropped. Couldn't hang on. There's flags thrown behind the play in the area of a hold, typically. On 2nd and the full 10. It is a hold against Pitt.
72. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
It's on Isaiah Montgomery, who's getting the start at left tackle tonight. Redshirt sophomore from Virginia Beach.
Yeah, you're going to see 72. He's going to be on the left side of the screen. And initially he's fine, but then he ends up just pulling right at the neck of the Virginia Cavalier on defense there. Terrell Jones, number 25. Now Pitt really backed up west.
Yeah, 2 penalties on the Panthers. One of the things Kate Bell talked to us about was being deliberate in the formations.
Yep. No motion, no shifts. Get a clean picture, look to the sideline, try to execute.
And they're going to hand it to Reed. His first carry of the night is going to go nowhere because Terrell Jones, who Tom just spoke of a moment ago, is in the backfield to make a play. And all of a sudden, Pitt has got a couple of penalties and, quite frankly, a little dodgy here in the opening possession.
Well, this time they line up Terrell over the left guard. Previously, he was playing defensive end, so there is a 3 technique on the outside shade of the guard and just works and crosses his face and makes the tackle.
Out of the backfield, that's Reed. And here's Holstein, quick throw. This is Williams. Trying to find a seam, cannot. Got out to about the 14, and that'll be 3 and out. Jones again, the stop for the Cavaliers. Good start for Virginia's defense. Of course, Pitt helped with a couple of penalties. And now Caleb Junko on to punt, averaging just under 43 yards. Ethan Davies has dropped back to return here, Tom.
Yeah, and Junko a week ago really struggled to flip field position. They did not punt the ball well, and when you're backed up here, you need a big outing from your punter.
False start. Kicking
And
team.
this
Not all
clunky start for Pitt continues. Another penalty. Third in the opening drive. And the head coach of the Panthers none too happy. 3 accepted penalties, 20 yards here for Pitt. Junko. And this is Davies plus territory at the Pitt 49. And Ethan Davies trying to find a crease. Keeps his feet inside the 35. And Anthony Calandria and the Cavaliers are going to get terrific field position. 40-yard punt and a 17-yard return by Davies.
This is why it's so important in special teams when you're backed up to get a great punt. Nonetheless, this is an unbelievable individual effort right here by Ethan Davies. And Virginia set up, couldn't be better field position to start this game for Anthony Calandria.
Well, and here comes a guy that flies it right on the edge of the envelope for you, Tom.
Oh, he does.
The sophomore from Florida, Calandria out of St. Pete. The 1st and 10 throw on the perimeter. This is Kobe Pace with a head of steam around the corner. He'll be knocked out near the 26-yard line. McIntyre there for Pitt. And so Pace able to pick up right about 7 on the first down snap. And Des Kitchings, the offensive coordinator for the Cavaliers, wastes no time. They're going to pitch it here on the sweep. Tyree coming near side. He'll crack the first down mark, fall forward toward the 20. Chris Tyree knocked down by Ryland Gandy.
Remember, this was an offensive line 2 weeks ago that was much maligned, had an injury, didn't have their center, Brian Stevens, gave up 10 sacks to North Carolina. So one of the ways you try to neutralize Pitt's front, which is aggressive and it's upfield, move the ball laterally. Don't allow them to create momentum up the field on you. Good opening game plan here for Virginia.
Xavier Brown's coming to ball game. Calandria fakes the toss. He'll keep it going wide to the far side, and I think he got tripped up by Kyle Lewis, the linebacker. He keeps it at the line of scrimmage, which is the 21. There is Lewis, who comes in just ahead in the Pitt tackle chart at 68 stops coming into the ball game.
Kyle Lewis does a great job playing off the number 54 Blake Steen's block. Sheds the block. That's the one thing about these Pitt Panther defenders. They are active. They do not stay blocked. It's one of the reasons why they create so many negative plays.
First-year starter in his 22nd career game is Lewis. 2nd and 10. Pitt brings pressure. The throw. Fields the juggle, and it is picked. Lyman comes up with the deflection. Oh my goodness, Malachi Fields had this, and then he didn't. Look at this. First interception for Tamon Lynam.
It's the right place at the right time, and a huge takeaway for Pitt defensively. Now they got to get out of the back of their own end zone.
You've heard of one-on-one football. Malachi Fields and Tamon Lyman are 8-on-8. Malachi Fields couldn't clutch it. Lyman ends up with the interception, and now all of a sudden Pitt's got it deep in their own territory after Virginia was threatening. And there's a quick throw on the perimeter. And ball caught out to the 13-yard line. Kenny Johnson on his first catch of the night. Jackson made the stop. That's jam.
And again, just the pitch and catch. You know, we showed you in the open, that's the throw that he missed a few times last week, and those are the ones you got to make every time.
2nd and 4, and a play fake to Reed, and the slant that time. And here's Johnson one more time out to the 29. So Kenny Johnson, the benefactor of 2 nice Holstein throws. That one's 17.
It's the RPO game. Reed number 20 in the back end for Virginia.
And we got a flag here as Pitt took the snap. I think we had early starts
False
from
start.
the Panthers.
Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So you've heard Terrence Enos' name called. Let's go back to the interception a moment ago, though, Tom.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. So they're going to pressure here. They're going to pressure here. But this is Rasheem Biles. He works right underneath this, and he gets his hand up and obstructs the view of Malachi Fields. And I think that's why he was not able to make this play clean and force the bobble. And then what a fantastic individual effort on the back end from Pittsburgh defensively.
Yep. After the penalty, here's Holstein, already 2 for 2, and threw it behind Reed into traffic. Cam Robinson there defensively for Virginia. So now 2nd and 15 for Eli Holstein.
This is really what Cade Bell, the offensive coordinator, talked about. Let's take what the defense gives us. If the underneath stuff's there, let's just take it. Let the skill guys go run.
Bartholomew, the tight end, resetting. Holstein the toss, and Reed. He got to the 30, and boy, got pulled back. Robinson the tackle here on Desmond Reed. Let's get another look at this.
Well, he's got the nice little quick toss. Jonas Sanker, number 20, comes up and pops him.
Whoa.
That might be one of the toughest pound-for-pound football players in all of college football, regardless of any level. See Cade Bell, the offensive coordinator there, probably getting ready to dial another one up for Desmond Reed. I would.
3rd and the full 10 here. The snap, Virginia bringing 4. Holstein up in the pocket, now wants to throw, and threw it behind the intended receiver, and that was Mumfield at the first down mark at the 40-yard line. So a little better. They move it off the goal line deep in their own territory, but still not as smooth as Cade Bell and Eli Holstein want.
No, and you got to stay out of 3rd and 10. You got to stay out of 3rd and 7+. That's not the recipe for success here tonight. And they know that. They've also got to start taking a few shots downfield, too.
Punt from Junko. Davies waits. Inside the 25. Flag thrown. Post kick, and a tackle made on the punt cover by the Panthers. Right around the 20-yard line. They get Ethan Davies on the field, but a 48-yard punt from Junko as Cruz Brookins made the tackle. Here's Nate Black.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 9. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
Well, that'll back Virginia
Timeout.
up. Inside, it's 15. Tony Elliott's 2nd possession in a scoreless first quarter tonight. As we continue from Acrisure Stadium on a terrific night in Pittsburgh. Well, back in Pittsburgh, the biggest story in the ACC and maybe in college football today, Tom, is right here. Miami undefeated, top 5 in Atlanta. The corner of Techwood, Bobby Dodd, the final play. Cam Ward tries to flush the pocket. Romello Heights stripped him of it. Big Vandenberg fell on it. And old number 70 celebrates on the field he played on. And that opens the door for Pitt. But Panthers win tonight. Got to beat Clemson at Louisville. And you see the remainder of their frame. Here's a give, and this is Xavier Brown. We heard he might be a big piece of the run game. He is for 13 yards there to start the drive. Tackle made by McMillan.
Well, he gives this offense the one thing they've been lacking. That's explosive plays on the ground. Kobe Pace is your pounder, but Xavier Brown's the guy that can cut loose and break off the big chunk yards.
And they're going to do it one more time. Into the stack goes Brown. He'll get a yard on the play. So as we told you at the top, the loss by Miami opens the door for Pitt, opens the door for Clemson. SMU, America's best bye week. I mean, didn't play.
Yeah. Last week it was Colorado's America's best bye week. This week it's SMU.
Absolute. 2-by-2 look here for the Cavaliers, 2nd and 9. Calandria, far side throw, catch is made, and Virginia going to get a first down. And the catch is made by Andre Green Jr. Just his 7th grab of the year, playing in his 20th career game.
Well, there's another one of those 6-man pressures that I talked about that Pitt loves to employ. That time Virginia ready, had it manned up. They had it picked up completely, clean pocket. Anthony Calandria makes a very decisive choice. A fresh set of downs.
10-yard throw for the first down. Pace has come in to spell Brown. Calandria another play fake. Ooh, wanted the deep shot. Now will come back and throw it away. Pressure coming from Edwards, the freshman defensive end from Orlando, on the Cavalier quarterback.
It's an outstanding job of the defensive secondary. If you look at Pitt, they've got everything covered down, nowhere to go with the football. It's a delayed pressure 5-man rush. Well, look at what a nice job Pitt does on the back end. Very well played.
Pace trying to get left side. Kobe Pace with a flag thrown here in front of the Pitt bench. After a run of 6 on the play, George and Lewis the stop on the young man Kobe Pace, who started his college career at Clemson. When Tony Elliott went to Charlottesville, he did too through the portal.
Defense, number 2. Line up in the neutral zone of the snap. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Nate Matlack guilty of the offside penalty.
That one's always a tough one for coaches to swallow, because if you know where the ball is, how are you lining up off sides?
Yeah. So second down 5 now for Virginia. Pat Narduzzi doesn't like that 5 penalty 30-yard number. I can promise you that.
Not even out of the first quarter.
Right. Here's the throw on the perimeter. This is Pace the catch. Blue shirts are chasing, and Kobe will sneak out to the 42. George was there, and McIntyre for the Panthers.
Look at Tyler Neville, the tight end, and he's going to block number 9, Kyle Lewis, for Pittsburgh, and he just handles him throughout the finish of the play. And that's what you got to have. If your pass game on the perimeter is going to work, you better have some people that are going to be able to hold those stock blocks at the point of attack. That time, outstanding job by Tyler Neville.
Feels like a big third down for Virginia here.
You bet it is.
Cavaliers, a lot of movement here.
Look at how many blue jerseys are up near the line of scrimmage.
Here comes Green in motion. Snap to Calandria. He's got to make a quick throw. Does. That's Fields. First down for the Cavaliers, as it's measured to the 47 ahead of the McIntyre tackle. And Malachi Fields, who played his high school football 4 miles from Scott Stadium. Tom, he is as good a receiver as maybe college football's got that you may not know nationally.
Absolutely, and he is a monster. Really good job there, just settling in the void, underneath in the zone, getting past the line to gain, and a little pitch catch there with Anthony Calandria. But he is definitely the guy you want getting off the bus first.
118th catch of Fields' career. Here's a reverse, bringing it back here to the near side. Tyree looking for a block. Look at Calandria trying to help him as he gets shoved out of bounds into the Panther bench by McMillan.
Well, they're going to offset the handoff here with Kobe Pace. Going to flip it right back around to Chris Tyree, who will be the fastest player on the field for Virginia. And there's Anthony Calandria and a host of Virginia blockers. A little creativity and a nice drive being mounted here by the Cavs.
Calandria looking to help somebody. So 13 yards on the reverse for Tyree. A little bit like Pitt, Virginia's starting to be very deliberate in their approach here offensively. Off the play fake. Near side throw offline, intended for J.R. Wilson, who had his first career touchdown a couple of weeks ago against Carolina. Ryland Gandy covering for Pitt.
Whatever adjective you want to use for Anthony Calandria, grit, toughness, moxie, savvy.
All of them.
All of the above.
Yeah.
That's why he's out there leading the charge on the end around, is the lead blocker. Listen, if there was a fist fight going on somewhere, he's probably involved in it. He's just got that type of mentality, and I think he's one of the reasons why his leadership traits are so strong for such a young player.
Second down 10. Gonna hand the ball. This is Pace. Flags thrown as Kobe Pace breaks the 35. Pitt there. Brandon George, Donovan McMillan again. You can see why McMillan and Lewis are battling for the tackle lead at Pitt. One of those two seemingly around every snap. And Nate Black's been busy here early. I think this is on Virginia. We'll see.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense. Number 52 and number 77. 15-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Dana, it's on Boley and Josie off the Cavalier left side.
Well, Tom mentioned it about Calandria's toughness, but how about his resiliency in the last timeout where he got knocked up, he got back down, and Tony Elliott said it's really hard to evaluate a game like that because he's getting hit so much. And Randy Bates, the defensive coordinator for Pitt, unprompted in our meetings this week, mentioned how tough Calandria was. He just keeps getting back up, and he's not very big.
We got two guys that are tough and not very big in this game tonight. Here's Calandria with the pressure coming, and the Panthers will get there. Isaiah Neal. Well, they got everybody, didn't they, Tom?
Well, Isaiah Neal is coming off free and clear. Number 97, and then of course 44 Jimmy Scott is unblocked off the edge. And now you got to go way into page 173 of your playbook to find something for 3rd and 30.
Yep. The chop block penalty set him back 15. The sack pushes it all the way back. 10th play of the drive for the Wahoos. And now Virginia going to take a timeout. Play clock was going to get him. And Calandria will burn Tony Elliott's first time out of this half. No score. Late first quarter in Pittsburgh continues. Well, we're putting a cap on week 11 for you, but week 12 in the ACC will start our coverage at 3:30 next Saturday on ACC Network. Number 22 Louisville visits the Farm to see the Cardinal, and then in prime time we'll be in Chapel Hill. Deeks and Heels, 8 o'clock. Beautiful Kenan Stadium on ACC Network, always streaming live on the ESPN app. Here's the 3rd and 30, and it's a draw to Kobe Pace, and he'll pick up right about 10. Rasheem Biles, the tackle, Tom, but a point of coaching from Tony Elliott a moment ago, huh?
Well, you listen, he brought his team over after calling the timeout on 3rd and 30. And guys, we got to be smart, all right? Start thinking. Understand that you've got to understand the moment, where we're at. What are we doing? Execution. That's the one thing that he was most worried about coming into this game, is he did not execute well against North Carolina 2 weeks ago. You got to execute consistently tonight.
Yep. Desmond Reed to take the punt of 6'6" Daniel Sparks. Oh my, that's partially blocked, and it hopped right into the Pitt bench right around the 35-yard line. Did somebody get a hand on this, or did Sparks just miss it? 16 yards on the punt for Sparks, who was averaging 44.5.
Initially, I thought, no, he just shanks this.
Yep. Keith Thompson was close.
Yeah, they were. But no, this just goes off the foot horribly. And if you're Tony Elliott at Virginia, you're figuring, all right, we ran the draw, we got ourselves to around midfield, and now we're going to be able to put Pitt and back them up with a long field.
You like a shot play here, Tom?
I think it's a great opportunity for one. Haven't seen one yet tonight.
And Holstein had that batted down, and that was Cam Robinson from Tappahannock at 6'2", 235. They made a play on that offer by Eli Holstein.
It was batted down, but to be honest with you, it may have been one of those plays where probably should have handed it off.
Here's Holstein on 2nd and 10. Flags thrown, middle of the field. That is Reed. He got hit hard by McDonald after a 5-yard gain, but most popular guy so far in the first quarter, Nate Black.
Offense. 2 players in motion. Not set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
That is the 6th penalty on Pitt in this first half for 35 yards, and Kay Bell is looking at the sheet and shaking his head going, oh boy.
Well, he's constantly looking at the column that says 2nd and 7+ and 3rd and 7+, and that's not where they planned on being tonight. And for a team that didn't want to have a lot of shifts and motions early, That penalty is 2 people moving at once.
That's Mumfield. Holstein thought about the little check down to Reed. Now he'll go to the right and run. Eli on his horse and out of bounds toward the 38. So he got it back to where it's at least going to have a ballpark chance.
Yeah, they were trying to set up the little dump off screen to the left here to Desmond Reed. Michael Diotta gets upfield, takes it away, and so now Eli Holstein, he's got to come up with a way of avoiding a negative play. Does a fantastic job with his legs. At least puts him in third and manageable.
So 3rd and a half dozen for the Panthers. Wants to throw. Here's the pressure and incomplete. Fired it up the line. Cam Butler was the guy that reached Holstein, though, to force the errant throw.
Looks like they're still having some trouble at the left tackle spot, even though they've moved over and changed some bodies. Ryan Baer, number 70. Cam Butler takes care of business with the inside move.
That's another 3 and out, Tom. 2 in their first 3 possessions for Pitt offensively. Junko to punt it away to Davies again. And Davies going to let this hit. Oh, he took it on the hop. And the Panthers will make the play at the 22 with inside 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. 43-yard punt. And I thought when Ethan Davies let it hit, it could have been disastrous, but he handled it like a big leaguer at short.
What a great defensive stop from Virginia right there. After you have the punt get shanked, you're 3rd and 30 on the previous series.
Right.
And now you get this ball back with an opportunity to mount another drive.
Feels like these offenses, though, are still searching a little bit.
Kind of getting a feel for each other a little bit, yeah.
Calandri's opened the ball game 5 of his first 8. And missed throws there. Tyree was the guy, but it was short and behind the young man from Chester, Virginia.
Oh, and if he makes this throw, Chris Tyree might still be running. And Virginia had it blocked up on the perimeter. And if you look at Anthony Calandria, after that play, he just taps his chest. Hey, this is on me. My bad. Lets Tyree know it. That's a rare, easy miss for Anthony Calandria.
Pistol set. And the handoff to Brown. Xavier Brown, a big hole, and keeps his feet across the 40. Trying to get Pitt to midfield. Look at the run by Brown, Tom. A terrific effort of 28 yards for Xavier Brown.
Yeah, left side of the offensive line does a really, really nice job. And Brown, again, the more explosive of the 2 backs, gets into the open field. That's his 2nd run of the night. That's plus 10 yards or more. Those explosives they've been lacking on the ground. He's already come up with 2 here in the first quarter. It's exactly the recipe for Virginia on early downs.
So at midfield now for the Cavaliers. In the final minute and change, and Tony Elliott's team got a little steam in their stride here. Another give to Brown, and oh, a terrific play in space by Biles. You turn the tape on, and when Pitt is rolling defensively,
yeah,
you see McMillan, you see Lewis, but you see a lot of 31.
Yeah,
too.
Rasheem Biles is, this time he just fills the lane in the gap, and that was an issue that they worked on this week off of the SMU game. Is they were not gap strong, did not have gap integrity. They had linebackers running into the back of their defensive tackles into head-on matchups in the offensive line, and that's just not going to cut it.
Here's Calandria from the pocket, gonna zip it downfield. Leaping catch, Andre Green. A first down near the 27 of Pitt. Rylan Gandy on the coverage for the Panthers. 24-yard throw from Calandria.
Yeah, Calandria is able to work this out because you got a flat defender sinking late, and he puts this ball really the only place that it could be for Green to haul it in.
That is the end of the first
And
quarter.
that'll be the final play of the first 15 minutes. Well, Virginia had a turnover. Looked like they were going to get tonight's first chance to score. Pitt's been besieged by penalties. We are scoreless through the first 15 tonight on ACC Network. We go to quarter 2 tonight at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, scoreless with Virginia and Pitt. The Sharks are out, and they're on the field technically. Here's Virginia, another reverse, and now Harrison's going to throw. Calandria the catch inside the 5. It's 1st and goal. Cedarian Harrison just lobbed it 26 yards to Anthony Calandria, and it's 1st and goal for the Cavaliers.
This wasn't a lob. This was an absolute dart, Wes. This was one heck of a throw for Cedarian Harrison as Virginia here quickly hurries up to the line of scrimmage.
Cedarian Harrison, who had 2 catches at Clemson, 3 on the year, now has a completed pass. 1st and goal, little soft toss. Brown scores. Xavier Brown into the end zone. His first rushing score of the year, and Virginia on the board first. Here on the 2nd snap of the 2nd quarter.
Illegal substitution. Defense. More than 11 players on the field at snap. That penalty's decline. Result of the play. Touchdown.
The play that sets up the touchdown right here. The Cedarian Harrison throws a terrific pass right here to Anthony Calandria, who avoids the big collision at the end. And then Virginia with the unbalanced line in the tight end lining up as the left tackle.
1-yard run for Brown. Point after is good. Cavaliers 7, Panthers nothing. All right, draw it up for me here, Coach, because Cedarian Harrison from McCormick, South Carolina, gets it to Calandria.
Well, he's going to come right back over here, and they're going to clear out through here. And once this gets pitched off right there, you can see Calandria just leak right on out here. And off we go. But in order for this to work, you got to have the inside release of the top receiver clear out and create that space down the sideline right there. And what a wonderful throw. If he lobs that ball up, the Pitt safety's got an opportunity to get over there, jump in front of it, and make a play. But because he had just enough zip on it, Calandria makes the catch, avoids the big pop. And again, I like the unbalanced line, the ability to run the football down there quickly. They have the personnel on the field really fast. Virginia, impressive drive for the Hoos.
7-0 Cavaliers. Tyreek Robinson will wait on the kick. And the former high school quarterback shines, setting up Virginia's first touchdown. Here's Robinson, runs into a fray and tried to reroute and ended up giving a couple of yards back. So Pitt's going to start deep in its own territory at the 10. Tony Elliott, put a little star by that play. So Tony Elliott taking notes. Pat Narduzzi taking notes. Tell you what, I don't know what kind of NIL coaches get. If I'm Sharpie, I'm sending pins all over the country for those guys, Tom.
No question. Better send us some paper, too.
Yeah. Daniel Carter's coming the ball game. Off the 10. Here go the Panthers. Holstein, Bartholomew the catch. He had 5, and it'll stay 5. Tackle made by Kempton Shine. On the secondary for Virginia, who's starting for the 34th straight game here tonight.
Easy pitch and catch right here, but Bartholomew's going to look at this on tape and should have just got upfield vertically, even if it would have got you just 1 extra yard.
First catch of the night for Bartholomew, who's now got 13 in the last 4.5. Carter taken down behind the line. That's Dorian Jones, transfer from Cincinnati, who started his career in Louisville. Tackle for loss for Jones. Virginia's getting contributions from their depth defensively in this first half too.
Well, they are, and they're also penetrating. They've been very disruptive. They've played on Pitt's side of the line of scrimmage, as once again for the 2nd week in a row, Pitt has not been able to get anything going on the ground.
Carter comes back toward the formation here for 3rd and 7. Holstein to his left and threw it into traffic. Cam Butler got a hand on it. Ball intended for C.J. Lee. And the partisans here not happy. Pitt's gone to 0 of 4 on 3rd down. And that is their 3rd 3-and-out in the first 4 possessions. And you get a look at James Jackson, who's not playing tonight. but he may have the sweats on, but he's also got the gear on. Davies will field the punt, and a prompt tackle. Nice punt cover here by the Panthers to get downfield. And Lyman, who's got the interception for Pitt, makes the play off the Junko punt. 7-0 Virginia. Early quarter 2, Cavaliers in front. Don't forget, after the ball game ends tonight, ACC Huddle After Dark, complete wrap-up of all the action from around the Atlantic Coast Conference today. Highlights, analysis, interviews, players, coaches, more. They'll have you covered on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Off the punt, Cavaliers with Brown, who had the big run that ultimately led to the touchdown. Gets him 5 on first down before Braylon Lovelace makes the stop.
Don't be surprised here if Virginia starts feeling themselves a little bit in the run game. And then all of a sudden, handoff, 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 shot.
Yeah. Des Kitchens, the offensive coordinator with Tony Elliott. Friends for a long time, coaching peers. Now on staff in Charlottesville. And here's Brown near side. We had a chance to spend some time with Des before the game, and he was talking about the workload for Xavier Brown, which he has delivered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here in this first half. And he also talked about the growing process of who they are offensively. And I thought that, Tom, to me, that was 5 minutes that speaks to the job they're having to do in terms of the build in Charlottesville.
Oh, and they know how much the upfront component of it is what drives the engine. And they've certainly shown, like, the 2 weeks they had off have really improved them up front.
Yep. Here is Brown again. He'll flip over to the 43-yard line. Matlack to stop.
I mean, they're on the ground here, Wes, and it's 4 yards or more a pop.
Yep.
And I love how Des Kitchens and Tony Elliott here, they're not going to get greedy. If Pitt is struggling to hold up on the ground, give them a healthy dose of it.
There's Des. A lot of experience, been around the ACC a long time. Came back to work with Tony Elliott off the staff of the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL. You got Wilson off the formation to the far side. A couple guys here to the near side. That's Gibson in motion. Here goes Calandria. Pressure coming. Now he'll take it to the far side and be pulled down. Nice play in space. Lovelace, the linebacker, got Calandria down. Third down coming up now for the Cavaliers.
That's just a pure hustle play there by Lovelace. I love this, man. And he runs down Anthony Calandria. You got the motor, you got the effort. Watch number 0 put his feet in the ground and chase. Calandria can run now. And a huge third down for this Pitt defense.
That is 7.5 tackles for loss for Lovelace. Third and long for the Cavaliers. Calandria flush to his right. And tripped up. That's Lewis, who got a hand on him as he tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. And Virginia sees 2 plays by the Pitt defense behind the line. The first one lost a yard. That one lost 2.
Third and 10. What does Pitt do? They come after him. 6-man pressure with a stunt and a line game underneath. And they're able to free up the rusher right up the gut, force him to his right into the boundary where you don't have a lot of real estate. And Anthony Calandria, with nowhere to go with the football, just has to eat it. And Pitt coming up big on defense.
So here's Sparks, and he drives this well into the end zone over the head of Reed. So Panthers will get started with their 5th possession of this first quarter. When we come back, some people got here by land, others got here by air tonight. We'll show you that when we come back on ACCN. We welcome you back to Acrisure. 7-0 Virginia, and we had a parachute group that was helping us salute America's heroes before the ball game tonight, Tom. And you know what? Who says we can't capture video? That's what it looked like from the ground, kids. But guess what?
Look at that.
We spared no expense here on ACC Network Primetime. How about this landing, huh?
It's probably done with an iPhone.
Man, that's amazing.
It is. I'll tell you what, though, man. The hair on your neck stands up. Hair on your arm stands up.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yep. Thank you guys for allowing us to be part of your ride tonight into the ball game. 1st and 10 now. Holstein and the Panthers kind of been fighting themselves a little bit, and a stingy Virginia defense, and the Cavaliers make a play. Robinson got all the way back there to get Eli Holstein on the ground. That'll be a loss of 6. So what is a very frustrating first quarter, and now into quarter 2 for Pitt offensively continues.
What an unbelievable play right here. He ends up getting blocked by Desmond Reed and then jumps over and makes the tackle on the feet of Eli Holstein. Watch this play.
Wow.
What a way to finish, man.
42 yards of offense here for Pitt, 35 in penalties. Holstein holds the ball and then hits Johnson out at the 24. So it'll be 3rd and 6. Jonas Sanker, first time we've called his name tonight, the terrific safety for Tony Elliott's club, makes the stop. And Elliott told us this week, easily the most consistent guy.
No question.
On their football team. Senior from Charlottesville. Here's the 3rd and 6 for Pitt. Still looking for their first conversion. Holstein going to keep it. He'll get the first down. Falling across the 30-yard line. Jones hit him. But he lands at the 32, and the drive continues. Pitt avoided their 4th 3-and-out in their first 5 possessions, and now a whistle before they can quickly snap the first down play, and Elliott has asked for a timeout at the Virginia bench.
Yeah, with that first down, Pitt starts going quick, lining up, and Virginia's got the wrong personnel on the field. It's actually trying to run personnel off the field. Smart, heady call there from Tony Elliott.
Tom, give me at least what we've seen so far. I know what Cave Bell talked with us about yesterday, being deliberate, being more confident about what they were doing offensively. Seeing a still picture, if you will.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the decisiveness that I thought it would create for Eli Holstein. He's hit a couple of gimmies right in front of him, but he's also held onto the ball a little bit longer than I think they'd like him to, which has allowed what has really just been a 4-man pass rush, with the exception of number 5, Cam Robinson, coming up through the off the edge as a blitzer. But it hasn't been a muddy picture. I just think right now Virginia's outplaying them up front on the defensive line.
Yeah. Virginia looks rested and rejuvenated.
They do, absolutely, and confident.
1st and 10, here's the throw. Bartholomew couldn't clutch it. There was coverage out there by Micah Gaffney, but that was Gavin Bartholomew's play to make.
No doubt. This is a long throw, but also a very accurate throw from Eli Holstein. And this time, he is very decisive in getting the ball out of his hand. And I don't know how Bartholomew loses sight of that football. Goes off the top of his head. 2nd and 10.
So 2nd and 10 after the miss there. Cavaliers bring 4 again. A little crossing route. Mumpfield can't hang on. That was Gaffney again, I think, raking it out on Konate Mumpfield. And now all of a sudden 2 snaps, and it's 3rd and 10 for the Panthers.
Both the tackle spots, 70 and 72, are just getting put back on skates. If you look at both offensive tackles, and pushed right back into the lap of Eli Holstein. Got to firm up those edges if you're Pitt tonight.
Just 1 for 5 on 3rd down. That's Poppy Williams in motion. Holstein wants to throw. Again, escapes to his left. Got to hurry. High thrown ball. Mumpfield trying to come back for it. He's not even close, but he was taken down long before the ball arrived by Corey Thomas.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's a homecoming for Thomas. He played at Penn Hills in the Pittsburgh area. And this ball wasn't even going to be close to Mumpfield.
Well, it certainly wasn't, Wes. And that's a throw, and he's saying that's on me because that was an ill-advised throw that was helped out by a very fortunate pass interference penalty, but that ball is likely a turnover.
Third penalty on Virginia for 40 yards. Here is Desmond Reed, who's had a very quiet first half. He gets 8 on first down before Robinson makes the tackle. Not to say they've gone away from this powder keg at 5'7" and 175 pounds from Miami Gardens, but he's had a big impact. And there's a second down throw for a quick catch. Shine makes the tackle on Kanate Mumfield at the Virginia 33. And all of a sudden, here's the Panthers' offensive rhythm.
Notice the difference. You get that one big run on the ground, hurry up to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball, and the ball's out of the quarterback's hands.
And Reed will get it again. Pick up 3 on the play. Cavaliers make the tackle on Desmond Reed. We told you we got 2 tough guys in this game, both well under 6 feet. Anthony Calandria, I think they list him actually at 6 feet. Desmond Reed is listed at 5'8" and 175 pounds.
With long cleats on.
And he is a guy who coaches across the board have told us about his toughness. Here's a throw, long ball, and Williams can't track it. There's a flag thrown at the line of scrimmage. And that ball went right through the wickets on Poppy Williams.
This is a fantastic throw. A fantastic throw from Eli Holstein. And you got to make that play downfield. They haven't taken a lot of shots tonight.
Holding. Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Ryan Baer playing one of the tackle spots here for Pat Narduzzi.
Yeah, they moved him over to the left spot because Terrence Eno, 74, had a rough week last weekend against SMU. But let's take another look at this throw. Drops it right in the bucket for Williams. And Poppy Williams has got to come up with that play. So now, instead of lining up to kick an extra point, you're 2nd and 20.
Yep. Day-Day Reynolds and Mumfield to the far side. C.J. Lee here to the near side. Holstein again. Now going to throw. What a catch by Reed. Reaches back, grabs it. He's still on his feet. 15-10, first and goal Pitt. Kempton Shine tripped him up just enough to save the touchdown. What a sequence this is for Zero in the blue shirt.
How he caught this football is something else as Pitt gets ready to roll.
They put the ball at the 9, and here goes Reed into traffic again. Cavaliers gather around. Let's go back to this catch, though, by Reed.
Look at this catch as Cam Robinson, number 5, is on his trail, but he turns around with his right hand and is able to secure this ball and then spin around and avoid Cam Robinson, number 5, the linebacker. And then that's what Des Reed does best.
Yep.
Make people miss in the open field.
2nd and goal, the first real threat of the night by the Panthers. Holstein, quick throw, Mumfield the catch. Is he in? No, short. Inside the 1, it'll be 3rd and goal. And Pitt's on the line.
Nice throw here right now from Eli Holstein, but a big play call coming up here on 3rd down. I think personally this is a 2-down territory right now for this offense because they look like they're taking their time. They're going to figure out what they want out of this call.
Pitt is taking their time here. 12th play of the drive coming up. I think the Panther fans here certainly thought Mumfield was in. Not the case, and now the whistle blows. Timeout taken by Pitt.
First timeout, Pitt.
So with 4:52 to go in this first half, I think Pat Narduzzi thought we were going to go under review. We did not, and instead a break in the action. Well, Pat Narduzzi called a timeout. There was no review of the Mumfield catch, and here's why, Tom.
Yeah, you take a look. It's a great effort. If we're going to slow it down, we're down right there before the ball crosses the line. It's a good call by the officials, and you saw Pitt kind of slow playing it, hoping that it would get called down from the booth, and instead they had to burn a timeout.
See the two tights in motion here. They're going to hand it straight ahead. Daniel Carter, touchdown Pitt. Third rushing scorer of the year for the 6th-year senior.
And the notepad comes out for Pat Narduzzi as they put the hammer in the game. Daniel Carter at 5'10", 220 pounds. Conversely, Desmond Reed, 5'8", 175. All right, Rodney Hammond, 5'9", 200. So you got to have a little beef in there in your short yardage game.
12 plays, 80 yards, 4:41. Time of the drive. Sauls for the point, and we are tied. Carter's 9th career touchdown run.
A little patience right here. Then just lowers his shoulder, gets the pad level low.
Well, and the light is on for Cade Bell and the Panther offense, who in their first 4 drives had a total of 43 yards, and in this scoring drive went 80.
That drive, though, convinced me that, and I understand they wanted to slow things down. You want to get a clearer picture, trying to get, Eli Holstein in rhythm. I think it's the exact opposite. If this offense isn't playing fast, if this offense isn't on top of the play clock,
right,
as you take a look at these numbers right here, they're not the same offense.
Right.
And I think getting back to, all right, we got 4, we got 7 yards, and then, oh, wait a minute, let's line up and get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Then we throw it, we get the ball out of our hand quickly. That's their mode of operation.
Now, with 4:48 to play, we'll watch Sauls kick it away. And there'll be no return here by the Cavaliers. So on what has been an unbelievable Saturday in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and it kind of started in Atlanta. Once one thing happened, it begets another, right?
Yeah, it sure does.
So Clemson won at Virginia Tech. SMU, America's best bye week. Ponies are off. They play Boston College next Saturday in Dallas. They've had the best because they're undefeated in conference play with the one lone loss to BYU. Now all of a sudden it's on Pitt. It's on Clemson. And oh, by the way, it's on Miami. Despite what happened in Atlanta today, you're still in the mix.
Oh, of course they're in the mix. Absolutely. I think really when it comes down to this game here, Pitt's got so much in front of them because of the remaining schedule is the most difficult of all of the contenders.
Virginia ball off its 25 here. Got to keep an eye on the timeouts. And also the way this rolls down, because Pitt has 2 left. Cavaliers have 1 to go. And the 2-minute timeout, Tom.
Yep.
So 4 potential stops of the game by the clubs. Here's the give to Brown. And Xavier Brown will push it right up to the 29-yard line. He had 171 yards in their win at Coastal Carolina, Luke's.
Yeah.
That was the first 100-yard game in 5 years for Virginia.
Well, that's got to change.
Right.
Right. And Tony Elliott knows it.
Yeah.
Tony Elliott knows that for this team to be successful, it's got to start up front. I think they're going to have to make some inroads in the offseason this year in the transfer portal, but they got to be a sound, tough running football team.
Here's the 3rd down play. Intercepted. Kyle Lewis. 4th interception of the year for Lewis. He leads the Panthers. And the Sharks make a play for Narduzzi.
Kyle Lewis does an outstanding job baiting Anthony Calandria into this decision, because he just doesn't see him.
Off the 24 now for Holstein and Pitt. Pressure coming. Holstein in a fray, tries to escape, and he'll get to the 21 before big Anthony Britton makes the play. At 311 pounds off the Cavalier front. Oh my, Kyle Lewis with the left-handed dunk. Tell me.
You don't know. Maybe he's left-handed.
Tell you what, reach back, though, to set it down. I respect that. 2nd down and 8. Don't let Jeff Capel see that. Here goes Holstein. Thought about the throw. Is he going to loop it to Bartholomew? No, now reroutes back to the right. In big trouble, and the Cavaliers get there. Virginia shut the door going to the far side, Tom. And maybe for a moment, Holstein had to shine a light on a potential play, but Britton wasn't there to have that. He made the play.
Well, Virginia does a really good job of leveraging the football outside in. They never let a Pitt receiving target outflank the defender. And that left nowhere to go with the football for Eli Holstein. And what was an interception just 2 plays ago has now turned into 3rd and 12 for Pitt on offense.
So here's Reed, who made a big play that ultimately led to the touchdown on the last drive. Seam of the field and threw it behind the intended receiver Johnson, and almost coming up with it was Jam Jackson. So now 4th down, and here comes Sauls to try and give him the lead. Now remember, Ben Sauls missed for the first time last week in Dallas. He's 13 of 14 on the year. This is a 44-yard try. Just ahead of the 2-minute timeout. Kick away. And Sauls knocks it through. So we get to the 2-minute timeout here in Pittsburgh, and the Panthers have the lead for the first time tonight on a 44-yard field goal by Ben Sauls. Back after this. Panthers in front for the first time tonight here against Virginia. Great to be with Tom Luginbill, Dana Boyle, Wes Durham, our terrific crew. You see our ACC slate next week on the ESPN family of networks. How about high noon here at Acrisure for Coach Sweeney and the Tigers? Tom, off the win in Blacksburg. BC SMU 3:30 kick next week, and we'll be in Chapel Hill. Here's Chris Tyree off the 5. Tyree turned around at the 25, and that'll be that. Brookins the stop for Pitt. Tonight's Food Line, food for thought, brought to you by Food Line. Tom?
Well, this is a nice schemed up pressure, and you're going to see Kyle Lewis right here. They're going to rush the end. We're going to rush here. We're going to come around there. We're going to rush. But Kyle Lewis is going to come right here. And Anthony Calandria does not see him because he thinks he's one of the rushers coming off the edge. And he thinks he's got the deep dig route coming wide open. And it's just a nice job pre-snap of changing the look on the young quarterback and creating a turnover.
Cavaliers put 3 to the field, 1 to the boundary. And Calandria's first down throw is to Malachi Fields, who will step out of bounds. And Virginia with 1 timeout and 1:48 to play. Now remember, Cavaliers have the ball to start the second half.
Yep, that's the big, you got to have, everybody talks about that middle 8, right? Last 4 minutes of the second quarter, first 4 minutes of the third. And here we're going to look at Virginia is going to have both opportunities.
Second down, Calandria. Fires off on the run, a pump fake to nobody, and he'll gear out of bounds at the 32.
Hey, don't kid yourself. The pump fake always works, even if you're 10 yards downfield. For some reason it works, because instinctively, what are you going to do? You're going to try to jump and block the throw.
See, that's that quarterback logic you're putting in.
Well, I'm telling you, quarterback math works.
You see Calandria, 7 for 12, the 2 interceptions, have only cost the Cavaliers 3 points, though. That's Neville, the tight end, in motion. He's been quiet tonight. Quick throw, catch made. Pace got rifled by Lynham. He had the pick in the first quarter and makes a really hard hit on Kobe Pace right there.
A little surprised that Pitt maybe didn't call a timeout right here? Preserve some of this clock. Because they're forcing a 4th down. They're going to get the ball back. And they did. Okay.
29 seconds.
Okay, so Pat Narduzzi did burn one of the 2.
I was going to say that clock's running off. This is the opportunity.
And Kobe Pace really took a hard shot from Taman Lino. And the young man from Cedartown, Georgia, being checked out here. And Kelly Pugh is the Associate Athletic Director for Sports Medicine, who is the Virginia football trainer. And you see Kelly as she helps Kobe Pace off the field. She's one of 4 women in Power 4 football that are leaders of their respective programs. So Virginia's got a long, very successful history in sports medicine. And Kelly just adding to it. Kobe Pace off under his own power, which is good to see. And here's Daniel Sparks. Desmond Reed ran a punt back in week 1 against Kent. There's a knuckleball that Reed fields off the shoe tops. Coming near side 40, cuts back 45 and taken down at the 46. So 1:19 to go. Pitt's got 1 timeout.
Well, and that's exactly why you call that timeout prior to the punt, because you preserve some clock and then you get a terrific return. And it was a dangerous return, but it was a terrific return as Desmond Reed goes off onto the sideline. And that is not good if you're Pitt on offense on a drive like this. You need your best weapon on the field.
Daniel Carter's going to come into the ball game. We'll keep an eye on Reed. Maybe he'll try to slide back in there. Here's Holstein. Straight ahead, Daniel Carter to midfield. And these 2 teams just trading paint on the collisions, aren't they, Tom? This is one of those games where you're going to take your helmet off in the locker room at halftime. Pitt's going to have white streaks on theirs, and there'll be yellow streaks on the Cavalier headgear.
There might be a few bloody noses, too.
Ooh. 2nd and short. Holstein right across the middle. Carter the catch. That'll be enough for a 1st down at the Virginia 43 with 54 seconds left.
See,
Robinson on the stop.
Even in the passing game, without Desmond Reed on the field, this takes away a huge weapon that Virginia doesn't worry about.
Holstein, far throw, catch, flag thrown. Mumfield the grab at the 35. And this is usually a hold.
It is. It's going to be on number 70, Ryan Baer, late. The left tackle moved over from the right tackle spot since last week.
And he's gone to the left side. Enos was in the ball game on that particular exchange as well. It looked like he's playing left guard.
He is.
Tom.
They've moved him inside to guard after the, he had a rough week last week on the road at SMU.
Offense, number 70.
Bear's been a strong player for them on the right side.
Down.
Figured they were best protected by moving him over.
To 45 seconds.
Bear, 6'7", 325 from Eastlake, Ohio. He looks like Bear.
Yeah, and he gets called for holding
the game
Cam
clock
Butler.
will start on my signal.
Number 82.
Reed has come back in the game here after the penalty. Holstein still in the pocket, wants to make the long throw. Poppy Williams, a rolling catch at the Cavalier 30-yard line. Going to hustle to the line here with a half-minute to go.
And a big play by Williams, making up for that drop touchdown earlier in the 2nd quarter.
Snap to Holstein from the pocket, launches toward the end zone. Kenny Johnson incomplete. A lot of hand fighting going down the far side with Kempton Shine. Crowd thought it might have been an advantage for Virginia, apparently.
Some hand fighting there. Virginia defender looking back to locate the football. It's a good no call. Let him play.
So 2nd in the full 10 with 26 seconds to go. Pitt's holding a timeout. as is Virginia. Holstein shoots it back, incomplete. C.J. Lee, I think.
Yep.
Crossing route toward the 5, maybe the 10. Anthony Britton, though, he's all of a sudden picked up business coming off the Cavalier front.
Yeah, you're referencing number 55, starts chasing down Eli Holstein from his defensive tackle spot in the face of Holstein. If he just gets that ball down to C.J. Lee, that's a catch. It's a tough throw against your body. Now 3rd and 10.
Britton coming off what many thought was his best game of the year, Tom, 2 weeks ago against Carolina.
Can't take a sack here. You got to be cognizant of your 1 timeout left.
Here's Holstein again, center of the field, shoots it for Mumfield, overthrows him. There was plenty of Cavalier traffic behind it. And now we're going to get a look at Ben Sauls, who's got 9 career field goals over 50 yards. This will be inside 50 after the missed throw here.
That's 2 back-to-back throws from Eli Holstein that have been high to open targets, the correct read, locating the receiver. He just hasn't put it in a catchable spot.
This will be 48 now for Sauls. Already connected from 44. Kick away. And it's good. Ben Sauls knocks it home from 48. And Pitt has a 6-point lead with 8 seconds to go.
Points have been hard to come by, Wes, this first half, and you'd love to get some touchdowns down there when you get into the scoring position, but you've gotten a takeaway. You've been able to get a little bit of your rhythm back if you're Pitt on offense, and as you mentioned, it's important points right there. Back-to-back field goals for a Virginia team that's getting the ball coming out of the locker room to start the 3rd quarter.
7 plays, 24 yards, 71 seconds on the drive for Pat Narduzzi's team, who's now built a 6-point lead. And 13-7, and looks like Kobe Pace, or no, Cam Robinson, the other number 5, is getting an early start to the Virginia locker room, Tom, after that sequence of plays. So here is Sauls to kick it away. Tyree deep for the Cavaliers, and Sauls going to hang this straight up in the air. Fair catch taken by Brown. And so we'll see if Virginia just takes a knee and gets us to the locker room. Don't forget, we got women's basketball on ACC Network. Coming up Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Brenda Freeze in Maryland. Come to the JMA Wireless Dome. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Right here on ACC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. Hoops is underway. A couple ball games today. Big Sunday of ACC action tomorrow on the hardwood. And there's a touch of the knee by Calandria. And off to the locker rooms these teams will go. Kind of had a sluggish start both ways. Some penalty flags out there impacting the Panthers. Defenses have both made statements, Tom, here in the opening 30.
Yeah, and listen, I think Pitt started to get a little bit of a rhythm there offensively in the latter part of that 2nd quarter, and then came big with the Kyle Lewis interception to put him in scoring position. That's really been the difference in the entire first half. It's been a slugfest back and forth.
Yeah, Pat Narduzzi's team, off the disappointing loss last Saturday night at Dallas, have regrouped here tonight, and he's standing with Dana.
Coach, last week it was an issue of execution versus missed assignments. How do you best describe the play your team put on the field tonight in the first half?
Defensively, I think we've done a solid job. Gave up some early runs. They've done some different stuff like we anticipated they probably would. Stuff we haven't seen. We'll make the adjustments here at half. But offensively, we got to get the ball moving. We got the penalties have killed us all first half. We got to eliminate that crap.
Desmond Reed has been a playmaker all season long. How big of a spark was that later in the first half?
That was a big one. I was hoping he was going to get in the end zone early, but Daniel Carter ended up pushing it through.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Pat Narduzzi's team, a 6-point lead, 13-7 here at the break. Time for the huddle and the ACC halftime report. Taylor Tannenbaum and crew, take it away. We get ready for half number 2 tonight, where the Three Rivers meet. We're at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. The number 18 Panthers trying to stay in the thick of the ACC race toward the top, lead Virginia by half dozen with Tom Lugan, Bill West Durham, Dana Boyle in just a moment. Kind of a bouncy little first half really for both schools. But as we go to Gatorade's Is It In You, we thought the Pitt defense might be on point. They were for a couple of Calandria throws.
Yeah, and it's really what supercharged the Pitt offense was getting 2 extra possessions there. And this was just a great scheme-up defensive pressure where they had no clue up front offensively who was coming, and Anthony Calandria just throws one right to Kyle Lewis, and then Desmond Reed does what he does best, catch the football to the backfield, make people miss, and create an explosive play. And really, those 3 plays right there that we just showed you are the difference in the football game. Those 3 plays.
You see the details of Pitt's defense. 4 sacks, 5 for loss, couple of interceptions. Only produced 3 points, though. The touchdown drive that featured the Reed catch also seemed to get Cade Bell's offense back into rhythm, Tom.
It did, and once the rhythm started speeding up, they started getting more and more comfortable. And I think that's got to continue here in the 3rd quarter. Once Pitt gets back on offense, they got to become themselves. Let's not sit back and wait. Let's go. Let's attack.
Sauls to kick it away for the Panthers, and Tyree wants to play and does from the 3. Ooh-wee, wow. He looked like he was trying to maybe create a head fake and start upfield, and he got covered up right at the 15-yard line. A lot of contact there. Let's visit with Dana, who talked to Tony Elliott.
Yeah, Wes, coming out of the locker room, Tony Elliott a little frustrated. He said it's a lot of self-inflicted wounds. We'd get a positive play, we'd shoot ourselves in the foot. But he said the locker room still has the belief this is an ACC showdown. How do you not get up for this? Full second half to prove who Virginia is. And good news for Virginia fans, Kobe Pace expected to return to the game.
All right, thanks very much. Xavier Brown starts in the backfield with Calandria. That's Tyree in motion here on the first down snap. And Calandria going to bail the pocket. Extra runner in the game, and Nick James makes the tackle for Pitt. Transfer from Indiana. First time we've called his name tonight. A lot of new faces on the front for Pitt. A defense that started the year with 9 new starters, but not all new players. There's a look at Kobe Pace. I like Kobe because he's got the mouthpiece hanging from the helmet, Tom. He's got the other one
sticking in his helmet.
Yeah,
right.
Just in case. Right.
Got to have a spare.
Orbit for Tyree. Here's the second down give. Brown can't get started there. Lynham has been a factor here tonight. Man, Taman has an interception. It's his first since transferring over from Nebraska.
Now these corners are tall.
Yep.
He's 6'2", 190. Rashad Battle's 6'3", 200. Gandy's 6 foot.
Yep. Gandy was trying to take Luke Bill's job before the game when he talked to us.
He was.
Yep. All about, I'm coming up here to work with you, Mr. Durham. Come on, Ryland. 3rd and short, Lukes. Calandria to throw. Pressure coming. And a sack. Behind the line, Rasheed Biles. The Sharks in the water to start early here in quarter 3.
Well, the blood certainly is, and the Sharks start circling, and Rasheed Biles, you know who, makes the play once again, just doing a really good job of tracking Calandria and not allowing him to hit the edge and turn the corner on him.
We told you, Biles finds his way to the football a lot. For Randy Bates, the defensive coordinator. 3 and out go the Cavaliers. Sparks to punt. Got it out of there, and Reed is going to watch it take a big Virginia bout. Inside the 20, rolling toward the 15, and that's where it'll be touched up. 70 is his longest punt from a year ago against Boston College. That is 66 for Daniel Sparks. Panthers backed up the lead when we continue. Well, since the Virginia touchdown, the Pitt defense has started to surface. Pardon the pun. The Sharks are in the water. Oh my God, we've even got the music.
That Shark's cold. That Shark's a cowboy.
Oh my gosh. The Sharks are everywhere. Now Eli Holstein tries to back up the good work by the Pitt defense. Panthers start off their 15. Here's Desmond Reed, and boy, the Cavaliers are there in a hurry. Okay, Dana, so what's the quick word on how the Sharks came to Pittsburgh?
Well, it all started from linebacker Kyle Lewis, a name the Sharks born out of the mentality in the linebacker room. Always blood in the water, prey to be had, food to be eaten. Now, we didn't see the Sharks in the water last week, but they've certainly come to play tonight.
Pat Narduzzi, by the way, here's a slant, and oh my goodness, underthrown to Mumfield by Eli Holstein at the 35.
This is a touchdown.
Yeah, it is.
This is an absolute touchdown if he makes this throw right there.
Trey.
And it's out the gate.
Trey McDonald looked at Mumfield like, were you going to run all the way to the river if you got this? Ooh. 3rd and long now after the miss. See the numbers on Holstein tonight for 3rd down. From the Cavaliers. Holstein with time. How about the same play? And Mumfield dropped that one. Right about the 32, Tom. Konate was underthrown the first one, dropped the second one, and Mumfield's still down.
Fisher's timeout for an injured player.
That time it was a laser from Eli Holstein as he checks on Mumfield.
Oh, and Eli's upset, and Pitt teammate are as well. They'll check on Holstein. We'll step aside here on the 3rd down incompletion. Well, Konate Mumfield was shaken up on the play after the pass was incomplete on 3rd down, and before Pitt punts, they're able to get the young man from Houston, Georgia, off the field. He played at Akron before transferring into the Pitt program, and those are his folks, including his dad, who's in armed services. Master Sergeant Cyprian Mumfield, and Michelle, his wife. Thank you for your service, Master Sergeant Mumfield.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Ball at the 15, so 4th and 9. And boy, what a good looking punt this is from Junko, and Ethan Davies can't get out of the shadow, and he's taken down inside the 25. That is 54 yards on the boot by Caleb Junko. That's not his best of the year, but it's close. Don't forget our Week 12 ACC Network schedule lines up on Saturday, 3:30 out in Stanford, California for the Cardinal and the Cards. That'll be a tricky one. And then 8 o'clock, we'll be in the Pines, Kenan Stadium for Wake and Carolina. Those two have been prone to the shootout, Lukes.
Yes, they have.
The last few years. So come early and plan to stay late with us on ACC Network. Calandria and the Cavaliers from the 23, and here comes Brandon George. He eludes George and starts upfield, and Lewis angles him out of bounds.
How many times have we called Lewis's name tonight?
Yep.
Whether it's been pressure, whether it's been dropping in zone, tackling, sideline to sideline, speed and effort. Yep. This defense has really gotten back to what got it to this point. We did not see that from Pitt on defense a week ago on the road in the loss to SMU.
Kobe Pace, first appearance of Pace in the 2nd half. They're going to hand to Tyree. Nope, Calandria going to keep it and pick up a yard maybe. Jimmy Scott the tackle. Tom, the scenario facing Virginia is this. We told you Pitt's kind of ramped up the defense. Their last 4 drives prior to this one, just 25 total yards.
Yeah.
Their first 3 drives tonight, 128 yards.
Yeah, prior to getting here into the 3rd quarter, it was a tale of 2 quarters. Virginia got off to a hot start in the first, wasn't able to muster anything in the second. Now you got a big 3rd down, while Pitt seems to be gaining some steam.
And trying to avoid their 3rd straight 3 and out. Calandria looking for Neville, and almost picked off on the backside by Brookins. You know, that's a magnet number he wears, 12. That was MJ Devonshire's number.
Yep.
And that guy caught everything.
Cruz Brookins, a redshirt freshman from right over here in Steel Valley. just outside of Pittsburgh, nobody recruited Brookins.
Yeah.
And he had missed opportunity there to intercept that ball with some great field position. Nevertheless, Desmond Reed back to return the punt.
How close is he to Pittsburgh? Randy Bates said yesterday, oh yeah, he's from just over on the other side of the hill.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Reed will back up to take the punt from Sparks at the 15. Two-man miss. Trying to run out of a third, and he gets to the 30-yard line or close to it for the next Pitt possession. 56-yard punt for Sparks after a moment ago having a 66-yard punt and a terrific return there of 15 by Des Reed.
This guy's like a jackrabbit in cleats. I mean, he just jump cuts and is so sudden in his agility and his lateral mobility. It's just tough to get a clean shot on him. Also, one of the reasons why, despite his diminutive stature, he's been able to remain durable. It's hard to get a direct, clean hit on Desmond Reed.
Holstein with Reed. They're going to hand it to 0. And look at there, just knocks 3.5, maybe 4 yards off on first down. All right, so Des Reed, 5'8", 175. That's what's listed, okay? Here's the all-purpose yards per game leaders. Ashton Jeanty, he's going to New York. He's in the Heisman conversation. Here are the guys based on height and weight. Tom. Here's the carry by Reed. That'll be enough for a first down. Let's see if we can go back to the height and weight here.
Yeah.
Because I want to take a look at the disparity, if you will, Tom. Amarian Hampton. Oh, wait a second. What are you doing? Editing?
Officials timeout.
I'm making, and listen, I'm trying to accentuate just how big he plays despite his diminutive stature. But look at the company he's in there.
Man, Amarian Hampton, R.J. Harvey, Cam Scatabo, who, by the way, did not play today for Arizona State.
Yep.
Ashton Jeanty, by the way, is just a terrific football player. Antonio Clary's shaken up, and this is a guy the Cavaliers have tried to get back on the field at health. And the senior from Sandalwood in Jacksonville has, oh my goodness, Virginia fans just, this has unfortunately been a storyline of this 24 campaign for Tony Elliott, is the health of Antonio Clary.
Got cleared to play. Wasn't likely to be expected a full 100%.
Yeah.
But cleared enough to play. Thought they'd try to give it a go tonight. Play opposite of Jonas Sanker.
Yeah. By the way, Antonio Clary has a bachelor's degree in history and a master's degree educational psychology. You see the minor in African American studies, and you talk about getting the full swing of the college experience.
Absolutely.
Good for you, Antonio Clary. There's Reed on first down, pushing through for 6, almost 7 on the play. Des Reed came in 5th in all of FBS, averaging over 156 all-purpose yards a game. 59 prior to the carry there tonight. And here's Holstein, a little keep off the option. Slides down, took a lick, and a flag will thrown on the hit by McDonald. And Holstein may be shaken up here. Panthers not happy. And people trying to get a little control of this before it escalates further.
Trey McDonald, number 8, the linebacker, is who got him and led with his forearm right to the side of the head of Eli Holstein.
Yep. And Nate Black, the referee, trying to get folks back to their respective benches. Nate Yarnell is already warming up in front of the Pitt bench. Holstein is up and walking off. That's a good sign.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit on the sliding quarterback. Defense number 8, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So the late hit will be flagged.
Review for potential targeting foul.
And we'll get a look. No targeting penalty added.
So he initiates the slide and just the timing of it.
Yep. So we will step aside. Oh, now Booth initiated targeting. We'll observe that and back after this. Well, it was booth-initiated review, and Trey McDonald has been disqualified tonight for targeting. Dorian Jones will come on to spell McDonald. Remember, they're already without James Jackson because of a foot injury tonight. And Nate Yarnell has come in as Des Reed. My goodness, he went to a stack of players and fell inside the 30 to the 29.
You take a look at this hit, you may say, well, how is this called targeting? He didn't even use his helmet when you look at 8, Trey McDonald, but he doesn't have to. It's the indicator of the launch with forcible contact to the head or neck area, but that can be with your fist, your forearm, your hand. Doesn't have to just be your helmet.
Second down, here's Yarnell. And Nate going to try and hesitate, dive forward. It'll be 3rd and short. Smith makes the play. Kendrick Smith for Virginia. Now, Nate Yarnell came in last Saturday night, went 9 of 10, 99 yards and 2 scores, Tom. And now 3rd and short it is. And he's going to try and hand the ball to Reed, and over the top came Sanker. Jonas Sanker attacking the run game there.
Well, look at Bartholomew, 86 right here, and Yarnell misses him. Virginia busts, and you've got a wide open Gavin Bartholomew going down the sideline, and sometimes, man, it's tough. You're coming off the sideline in a reserve role. You get the play call, and you just may not see it all.
45-yard try for Sauls. It would be his 3rd of the night. He knocks it through. And that's blocked. Virginia got a hand on it. 2nd miss of the year for Ben Sauls, and the block here. So the Cavaliers get a stop. Pitt looked to be on the doorstep. Tony Elliott's team with 7.5 to go here in the 3rd makes a key play.
Got to get some momentum back onto your sideline if you're Virginia, and this is the way to do it. Hang in there on defense, and Jonas Sanker, number 20, who's a defensive stalwart for the Cavaliers, coming up big off of the edge and blocking that field goal. Now, Virginia has got to come up with some answers here on offense.
Ball at the 26.5-yard line. Calandria going to work with Brown in the backfield. And here's Calandria trying to slip through and able to pick up a yard. Sean Fitzsimmons. The play from the Pitt defensive line, and there's Kanate Mumfield on the bike. Maybe trying to stay loose and see if he can get another chance here tonight after coming out of the ball game a series ago. 2nd down throw, Tyler Neville's catch, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. Great 2nd and 3rd effort by Neville, carries him out to the 38.
Yeah, good to see them get him involved. He hasn't been involved as we thought tonight. Has been a mainstay in the passing game. Well, you see what he does with the ball in his hands, carrying defenders and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, 1st catch of the night for Neville. Gives him 27 on the year. Calandria, 1st down throw, that's Tyree, and he got spun out of bounds by Donovan McMillan. 9-yard gain. Virginia's got a little steam going here offensively.
Well, they needed to take that momentum of the blocked field goal and apply it here to this drive. They've been stale offensively, haven't been able to sustain any consistency. Finally got a spark.
Calandria fakes the run, now wants to keep it, does, and look out. Here's Anthony Calandria, and McMillan will shove him out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 24-yard line.
This is basically just a quarterback lead with the running back and Xavier Brown as the lead blocker. He doesn't realize, though, that Anthony Calandria is right on his heels, has to get on his horse and speed up. Well-designed and executed play from Virginia, knocking on the door.
29-yard play to the 24. Boy, the missed field goal looming here, Tom, with under 6 to go in the 3rd. A touchdown would tie the game. An extra point would push the Cavaliers back in front. Longest run of the night for Virginia. Calandria. Oh, my goodness, Brown. Touchdown, Virginia. 24-yard throw, and Xavier Brown has got a rushing score and now a receiving score. just a little bit of hesitation, right, Luke?
Just a little bit of hesitation. This is really well executed and very well designed. This is set up to look like it's supposed to be quarterback draw until you pop your eyes back up and you link Xavier Brown out of the backfield. Well done, Virginia.
Cavaliers in the end zone from 24 yards away. Now for the lead, Will Bentridge. And the kick is good. Virginia now back in front.
Really well done here by Des Kitchens, the offensive coordinator. You get the pop pass coming off of what looked like a designed quarterback draw, and they catch Keith Thompson, number 38, step up into the gap because he thinks the back's trying to block him, and back just leaks out around him.
And all of a sudden, Virginia, who'd kind of been wobbling a little bit offensively, has gone back in front, and Eli Holstein headed toward the pit locker room. So Nate Yarnell's ball game for the time being for Coach Narduzzi.
Sure is. Let's hope Eli Holstein's okay. So check him out. Mumpfield on the way as well.
And a team that's fighting to stay in the hunt of the ACC race, Tom, and a potential appearance in Charlotte and their college football playoff chances, now has their leading receiver and their starting quarterback both in the locker room. And the kick through the end zone, that'll push them to the 25. And don't forget, we got ACC basketball for you coming up Friday night. Sunshine State battle, number 21 Florida's in Tallahassee at the Tucker Center to see Florida State at 6 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock, hey, Luke, how about some ball next Friday night in Chapel Hill?
Ball?
Americans in town. We'll go over and see them play Carolina before we get the Tar Heels and Deacs on the football gridiron the next day.
Can I ask a question? Where is American?
It's Washington, D.C.
It is, okay.
Wofford and Duke, by the way, is high noon on Saturday. You'll see that before you get to the ACC Network doubleheader that starts at Stanford at 3:30 next week. Huddle all around on Saturday, of course. And now here's Nate Yarnell off the 25 and Pitt trailing a point.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
And now a delay a game call.
Boy, how do you have that off of a change of possession? That's got to just drive Pat Narduzzi nuts.
And so that costs Yarnell 5. And it's 1st and 15. Reed in the backfield with it. Play fake. Nate gonna wind and dial. Deep throw. Poppy. No! Intercepted. Sanker. Jonas back upfield. Looking for a block. Cuts to the 35. Sanker. And finally he'll be tackled by Lee inside the Pitt 20. Yarnell tried to dial Poppy Williams deep, and Jonas Sanker comes up with his second career interception, Tom.
This ball just took too long to get there. This is the safety. That's 20. He starts doing this as the quarterback looks that way, but the ball takes so long that he's able to turn around and get back over here because the ball hangs in the air for so long. Watch Jonas Sanker turn around, and he just ends up tracking the ball. He comes outside the numbers back to the middle of the field. What a spectacular play by Sanker, but you can't throw the ball late over the middle of the field.
Here's Calandria now. Keeps it on the ground, gets roughly 5 to the 15 before he got knocked back. Virginia, who had combined for 17 yards of offense in 4 drives, had 73 on their last possession. Now they get the Sanker pick. It's his second career pick. And the Cavaliers, with a 1-point lead, are looking to add. And Nate Yarnell's looking at the iPad with Cade Bell. Kobe Pace with Calandria now. They'll hand to Pace right side. Whoa, big lick after a yard. Lovelace, the linebacker there for Pitt. So now 3rd and 4.
What a tale of 2 quarters, huh, Wes? You look at the second quarter, Virginia can get nothing mustered.
Right.
All right. Look at this third quarter, big third down here. You've had 2 red zone possessions already. We'll see if Virginia can capitalize right here. And if they use Anthony Calandria's legs.
3rd down, long 4 for the Cavaliers. Calandria for Pace. Cut back. 1st down, 1st and goal. Inside the 5, near the 3, goes the hard-running Kobe Pace for 11. Lynham, the corner, makes the play, and we've got an injured Pitt player. And it looks like Jordan Bass is shaken up. Sophomore from Hampton, Virginia, who'd been playing a lot more reps for Randy Bates defensively in the last few ball games. So while they check on Bass, let's get a look at tonight's dynamic play of the game, brought to you by T. Rowe Price. And dynamic plays, well, we've seen it tonight. How about the missed field goal by Sauls, the block by Sanker, and now what does Jonas do? That set up the touchdown for Brown, and then with Holstein going to the locker room, here's Yarnell for the deep shot, and there's Sanker again, Tom.
Johnny on the spot. What a play he made to get to that ball. He was the opposite hash split safety and had worked himself outside of the numbers to the opposite sideline, only to turn around and locate that football and make a play. And again, the turnovers that were created by Pitt in the second quarter gave them a shot, gave them a 13-7 lead. Now this third quarter, it's a complete reversal of fortune, and you can feel it on the sideline with Virginia's confidence.
You don't score block kicks as turnovers, Tom, but it's playing like one right now.
No doubt.
And then you add the interception by Sanker, and Bass gets up, and it looks like he's holding an arm as he's helped from the playing field.
When you think of what's at stake here, right? Virginia and Tony Elliott, they're trying to build a program, trying to find a way to get bowl eligible to show the progress they've been making. And Pitt, with so much on the line, given the Miami defeat on the road at Georgia Tech today, and Pitt better come up with some answers to change the fortunes of this third quarter performance.
Neville and Pace, kind of a power eye, and here's Kobe Pace, and Virginia's extending the lead. Cavalier touchdown, Kobe Pace on the first snap of 1st and goal after he set up the 1st and goal. Now cashes in. So Sanker's interception punctuated by the Cavalier touchdown, 3rd rushing score of the year for Pace. And the lead is 7, and the Cavaliers looking to make it 8. And Tom, in the span of 2 minutes and 5 seconds, Virginia scored twice.
Well, and they capitalized on opportunities. It's one thing to get those opportunities. It's another thing to turn them into points.
And Bettridge punches through the point, so now it's an 8-point margin with 3:34 to go. Virginia had been outscored coming into the ball game, 75-23 in the third quarter. Those 23 points were toward the back end of all of FBS. And tonight, 14 points. In a quarter they had only previously scored 23 in 8 games.
And can we give some love to this Virginia offensive line? Right? 2 weeks ago, North Carolina comes into town in Scott Stadium there in Charlottesville and levies 10 sacks against an offensive front that didn't have their center in Brian Stevens, had a left guard in Noah Josie that had to move over to the center. The first series of the game against North Carolina, you shoot a ball over the quarterback's head. And from that point on, everything came unraveled. The last 2 weeks got this group healthy, and they have dominated at the point of attack.
So Sparks will hang the kick high. And Derek Davis on the kick return. Got to the 15 and got knocked back, and that's where Pitt's going to get cranked up. And Nate Yarnell coming back out to quarterback the Panthers with just less than 3.5 to go in this third quarter, and now Pitt an 8-point deficit.
Well, that's the first interception of the season for Nate Yarnell, and he's going to have to show that he's got a short memory now, because this team needs Nate Yarnell to come through and make some plays and get some momentum back for Pitt on offense.
Playing tonight in his 12th career game. He's had 3 starts along the way here out of Lake Travis High School in Austin, Texas. And the give is Reed. Boy, the Cavaliers have just not let Des Reed find much room. Tom, especially right in the middle.
Well, and I think that's the thing is, if you watch Virginia, they're so sound at playing their gaps that they don't create a crease for him to sneak through. That's discipline, that's technique, that's coaching.
Yep. John Brzezinski's group on point tonight when it comes to the inside run game. Here's Yarnell. Body's flailing away. Yarnell's going to fake the throw, drop a shoulder, and punch through for the first down to the 26-yard line. Nate Yarnell is 6'4", 6'6", 215, Tom, and he used it to his advantage.
Every inch of it.
Quick snap on 1st and 10. Slips it to Reed and tried to double clutch it, and it'll fall incomplete.
Fortunately, it was. Would have been a loss of about 6 yards.
There's Yarnell on the run. Whoa. Look out. Dorian Jones.
Trading paint.
Yep. I'm telling you.
There has been no peace treaty signed here tonight.
No. And Daniel Carter has come in after the incomplete pass to Reed. 2nd and 10. Yarnell trying to step up in the pocket, and down he'll go. Anthony Britton has played very well tonight to back up his performance a couple weeks ago against Carolina. And now Britton gets a sack, and
officials timeout.
Another injury for Pitt here.
Yeah, I think this is an offensive lineman who got rolled up as a result. That's Lyndon Cooper.
Yep.
The offensive center, who's a really good player for Pitt. Key cog in that offensive line. And Anthony Britton, here's James Jackson on the sideline. The linebacker having to sit out tonight, engaged with his defense. But when you start patting the ball in the pocket, 1 pat, 2 pat, bad things are going to happen. And that's exactly what took place there, just holding onto the ball a little too long for Yarnell. Let's hope Cooper's okay here.
And Lyndon Cooper, transferred from NC State, making his 14th start tonight, is able to get up. Dana's posted up over there near the Cavalier bench. I'm going to guess the vibe has changed a little bit over there for Tony Elliott.
I think the Sanker interception put a little pep in the Virginia sideline, and really the whole offense and defense. You know, you saw Virginia ride the ups and downs of the momentum, and it's really all about Tony's philosophy of paying your debt. He wants the team to build a house worthy of being invited to, and it's playing from a perspective of gratitude. And throughout the whole game, I never saw the momentum or body language really dip from the Virginia sidelines.
I do have one assignment for you tonight, because I know Luganville names superheroes on ACC PM every week.
Yep.
You got to find out why James Jackson's got the helmet on buckled up tonight. Only because that is superhero mentality.
That is.
Pittsburgh's just 2 of 10 on 3rd down. And this is the full number. Yarnell dialing Reynolds, and is it picked on the deflection? No. A diving chance for Corey Thomas on a ball for Day-Day Reynolds. Kempton Shine was also around it for Virginia.
That was
now
close.
4th down.
Yeah, that was really close. It almost landed. Is that Kenny Johnson?
No, it's Reynolds.
Oh, excuse me, Day-Day Reynolds. Yeah, almost landed on top of him.
So it's a 5-play drive, and the punt for Junko. And here's Davies. Nice catch, backing up, and Ethan Davies now trying to find space, took a couple hits, and finally, I think it's Junko that got him to the ground. The Pitt punter, after a 46-yard offer, finally tackles Ethan Davies. And all of a sudden, Virginia now, Tom, with an 8-point lead, and it feels like a ton of momentum for Tony Elliott.
Ton of momentum and fantastic field position. Going back to Tony Elliott, and Dana was mentioning the acronym DEBT. You know, you got to pay your debt, is what he tells his football team. It stands for discipline, effort, belief, and toughness. And he's constantly preaching that to the team. Nothing comes free, nothing comes easy. All right, and if you have those 4 elements, this football program is going to get better and better.
Brown on the toss. And it's Brandon George who gets him on the ground after a yard. And the Cavaliers, in their 4 wins, have averaged about 5 yards a carry, Tom. In their 4 losses, less than 3. Tonight, they're at 4.5.
Yeah, they've been running it really, really well tonight. And it's been a little bit of everything. We've had some quarterback run. We've mixed in Kobe Pace as the hammer, and Xavier Brown is the lightning.
Yep. Pressure appearing. Quick throw on the perimeter. Here's Tyree looking for a block out front, and that'll carry him to just inside the midfield line. Kyle Lewis, the tackle. Eli Wood out of EC Glass in Lynchburg was trying to help out. You see Nate Yarnell on the iPad with Cade Bell. And
right now they're looking for answers.
Yep.
But a big 3rd down here for Virginia to maintain this momentum. Try to put Pitt in a bigger hole.
3rd down. Virginia just 2 for 8 tonight. Cavaliers came in under 38% against the conference. Here's Calandria bailing to the far side, and out of bounds he'll go. It'll be a loss. Jimmy Scott kind of took him off his route and then forced him to head to the far side of the field. So 4th down it is. 3 and out it'll be for Virginia. And that's the final play of the 3rd period. So we'll start the 4th with the Cavaliers punting to the Panthers. And if Pitt wants to stay in this mix, Tom, the next 15 are really important for Pat Narduzzi's team. We're back to the Steel City after this on ACC Network. We welcome you back. Quarter 4 tonight at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. Panther fans hoping that their team can stay in the thick of the ACC race, but they trail Virginia 8 as we go to the final quarter of play. Great to be with Tom Luganbill, Dana Boyle, Wes Durham. We're going to start the 4th with Virginia punting to Des Reed. And Sparks is going to fire this high in the night, and Reed will make the fair catch of it around the 14-yard line. If you're just dialing us up, it's been a weird day in the ACC. Georgia Tech beats a top 5 team for the first time since 2009 today. They beat an undefeated top 5 team for the first time in heaven knows when. Yeah. Clemson 2000, I think, was the last time it happened. Clemson stays in thick. They win in Blacksburg. SMU's got the best bye in America. They're undefeated in ACC play. And now here are the Panthers with a backup quarterback and their leading receiver in the locker room.
And they're on the ropes.
Yep. Down 8. And Nate Yarnell to work. Long throw, and Williams has it pop off the pads, incomplete. And on the Virginia bench tonight, there's been some attrition as well. There is the veteran Antonio Clary, who you see the knee is wrapped up on the left side and on crutches. And that's a tough one for Cavalier fans.
Absolutely.
And all of us who've enjoyed Antonio Clary's good play. 2nd down off the 14. Reed trying to bounce to the perimeter. Here he goes. Desmond Reed to the 45 and out of bounds with a Pitt first down on his best run of the night.
Well, they bottled him up on the inside. So what does Desmond Reed do? He bounces it to the outside. Then it becomes a foot race, and what a much-needed explosive play for this offense.
Yarnell, a quick throw. Here's Reynolds to the 43-yard line of Virginia. Jackson, the tackle there. And like he did in the first half, Des Reed trying to spark Pitt here, and Day-Day Reynolds still down after the throw and catch. And another injured Pitt player on offense. We'll step aside here. Early in quarter 4, an 8-point lead for Virginia.
12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
Well, you know, there's Day-Day Reynolds, by the way, being helped off the field a moment ago here, and 2nd and 1 after the completion to Reynolds. And Des Reed will plunge inside the 40 to the 39. We ran the stinger for the playoffs. You don't have to wait around until December 20th. Sometimes the playoffs start right now.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, there are going to be a handful of teams, Tom. The playoffs are now, right? If you want to stay in the race and have a chance, got to keep winning. 1st and 10, long throw to the backside. Lee could not clutch it. Incomplete. Kempton Shine was there, but Sincere Lee should have grabbed this.
2 drops in the same series on the exact same route. Nate Yarnell can't put the ball in a better place than he did. C.J. Lee's got to come up with that catch.
Officials timeout
now Corey
for an injured
Thomas.
player.
Defensive back end for Virginia on the opposite side of the field is down.
Yeah, Thomas is trying to get off the field under his own power, and we told you earlier, Kelly Pugh, the Virginia Associate AD for Sports Medicine, their football trainer, out to tend to the young man from Pittsburgh who played at Penn Hills. And Dana, I recall us talking about this during the week. Apparently Corey Thomas was the ticket king of Charlottesville during the week as well. So glad to see he's okay and able to walk off here, but shaking up on the play nonetheless.
Yeah, Wes, he had a lot of ticket requests, so much so that he had to pawn it off to his mom to handle from teammates. But he told me this week, he said one of the dreams for him was to run out of the Steelers tunnel at Heinz Field. He said he still calls it Heinz Field. So he got to do that tonight, but we hope he's okay.
Well, we do too, and as he moves off. I'll tell you, the football tradition of this city is amazing in America.
No doubt.
I mean, it really is special to come here and just be a part of what football is in Western Pennsylvania too, Tom. 2nd down. Yarnell in relief of Holstein. Nate looking right from the snap. And this is Poppy Williams, and it's just overthrown, incomplete. Panthers had that one lined up, Lukes.
Sure did. Just overthrew it. Looked like he aimed it just a little bit. He had Poppy Williams working down the sideline. Oh, got him on the slant and go.
Yeah.
Really sold the route. The route was fantastic. I think Yarnell could have just had a little more patience on that, rush to throw a little bit.
Desmond Reed now out of the backfield, all the way to the far side. Here's Yarnell again. Pressure coming. Nate to his right. Going to tuck and run. There goes the big fella diving for the 1st down. He's got the one thing you can't coach. He's 6'6".
Well, he's 6'6", and that's twice now where the consideration of sliding has not come into his mind.
11-yard run. Now Reed on 1st down and right into the arms of the Cavaliers. And I think that's Britton again. Nope. Terrell Jones rather. Look at Yarnell's run here, Lukes.
Going forward.
Yeah. That's it. You betcha. There's the old linebacker.
Dude likes it.
Oh, the old linebacker. 2nd down. Loss of 1 on the carry there a moment ago. Here's Yarnell again. Gunning for Bartholomew. 1st and goal for the Panthers. Caleb Hardy tripped him up. Gavin is slow to his feet after the catch. 20 yards from Yarnell to Bartholomew. That's Nate's best throw.
His best throw makes up for the miss on the throw 2 plays earlier. This is a great example of timing and anticipation and having confidence in where you're putting the football.
Play clock. Remember now with the backup quarterback and some new guys and new packages here, things can get, got to stay on point if you're Cade Bell. Yarnell ready. Here's the snap. Give it to Reed. Tez makes the first guy miss. to about the 4, maybe the 3. 2nd and goal coming up. Let's go back to Gavin Bartholomew out of Blue Mountain High School.
Yarnell gets back, gets set. Hits the seam right on the outside of the hash. They've needed to get him involved tonight, and they have.
Daniel Carter has come in. Now he's checking out of the backfield. Yarnell's going to empty the set here, Luke. Overman, the tight end, hustling back.
Better get lined up.
Yep. There's the snap. Yarnell going to keep it. Nate trying to get to the perimeter, and a shoot top tackle by who else but Sanker. Jonas Sanker, if Virginia goes on to win tonight, hasn't scored a point, Tom, but he's paved the way for them.
There's no question about that. And this time, Pitt does not account for the left side of securing the edge. You've got Dorian Jones and Jonas Sanker there, unblocked, coming off the edge. What a tackle.
3rd and goal. Play clock winding down. Carter is the running back. 5 on the clock for Yarnell. And now Narduzzi a timeout. And in a game,
First charge timeout.
In a game like this, an 8-point deficit. Possessions are precious. You don't want to give anything away. Pat Narduzzi burns the first of 3 timeouts. On this Veterans Day weekend, as we honor America's heroes, boy, it's fun to see these pictures. We have them from both institutions. Pitt fans around the world serving our country. How about the nose on that plane?
I love it. Yeah.
How about that, huh?
Looking good.
Well, a moment ago, as they were coming to the bench, what's the head coach say here, Tom?
2 downs.
Yeah.
Giving you 2 downs to get this in. So they've made up their mind on what they're going to do. And let's see how they work to get it in. Where's number 0? Desmond Reed is not on the field.
Yep.
Not on the field here.
Yep. Daniel
All right.
Carter is the running back with Yarnell.
Yeah, the power back.
Tight end, 3 receivers. Yarnell looking, shoots it to Bartholomew. Touchdown, Pitt. The old guys hook up. Yarnell, a redshirt junior, but he's been in this program a long time. Bartholomew, who arrived on the back end of the pandemic, is in the end zone, Tom, for the first time this year.
Excellent execution, good play choice. No Desmond Reed on the field. They go right to old reliable and Gavin Bartholomew.
You bet.
Putting the ball in the left hash here for a 2-point conversion.
Yep, go for Dos, brought to you by Dos Equis. 12 plays, 86 yards, 4:21 the time of the drive. Snap to Yarnell. Looks left, now back to his right. He will throw. Flag is thrown on the play. And it is caught for the 2-point try by Bartholomew.
Offense number 70.
Ryan Bear is called for a hold to negate the 2-point play here.
Well, they get him on a yank down of number 10, Ben Smiley III, the graduate from Virginia. Look to the right side of your screen. Now, this is Bear. He's had several penalties called on him tonight. Now, watch, he engages, yanks. And that's going to cost a 2-point conversion here for Pitt offensively. Again, Bear had been the starting right tackle. They move him over to left tackle, move Terrence Enos.
Still going for 2 here, Tom.
To left guard.
You
Look
like
at this.
You like this?
I actually do like this. It actually gives you a little more real estate.
Reed in the game now. Left hip of Yarnell. Going to throw the jump ball and out of the back of the end zone, so it stays a 2-point game.
Not sure I like the play selection. I think the book, the analytics, told them the percentages weighed in their favor right there. No issue there. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a clean play design. Everything was muddled up. No clear line of sight for Yarnell.
Missed the 2-point try. So it stays a 2-point game with 10.5 minutes to go. Now, one of the things maybe working in Pat Narduzzi's favor of trying the 2-point play even after the penalty, he's got one of the best field goal kickers in the country, Tom.
Yes, he does.
Distance.
He wants to talk to the head referee here about that holding call.
Right. So Nate Black over for a word from the Panthers head man.
Didn't look like a kind word.
More like a prepared statement, I
yes.
think. So Pitt to kick it away. Sauls with Tyree deep. And now Calandria and the Cavaliers try to protect the lead. Saul's going to hang this up on the hash mark. Tyree going to let it go into the end zone, and Virginia will start from its 25. Don't forget the ACC Fall Championships continue tomorrow. Men's soccer quarterfinals, 2 Eastern. They go through Thursday with the semifinals. Virginia's soccer team is at Acrisure tonight because they have Pitt tomorrow, 8 o'clock. You can see all of it on ACC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. Carolina, a winner earlier this week in the Field Hockey Championships for Aaron Matson. And here tonight, Virginia trying to wreak a little more havoc at the top of the ACC card tonight, Tom. That's Brown. No gain on the play, maybe a step toward the 26.
You know, Wes, Pittsburgh's starting to get a little bit of this momentum back. There's some juice in the building. The energy's back with the fan base a little now. Feel like there's a little life.
Panthers have outscored opponents 103-37 now in the 4th quarter this year. But they got to find at least 2 or more points here if this is going to be their 8th win of the year. Late add on the defensive front, and now the substitution being taken as Isaiah Neal comes in. Sean Fitzsimmons comes out after Virginia's sub. Here's Calandria trying to break free. Flag thrown behind the play. Calandria has a first down out over the 40 to the 42, but I think this is going to be a hold on Virginia.
Holding. Offense number 55. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's on Brian Stevens, who's making his 39th start tonight as a college center.
Yeah, and he catches the looper coming from the outside, comes all the way back to the inside and engages him, and he just pulls him late. A good job by the Pitt defender there, too, to throw his arms up and flail a little bit.
Sincere Edwards, I think, was the looper. I'm not familiar with the position. We'll wait on Lucapill to tell us more later.
Well, he's looping back around to the middle.
I just haven't quite. The guy who's always the looper's usually got a bag over his shoulder.
Looper, caddy.
That's it. Those are the loopers I know. Here's Calandria, 2nd and long after the penalty, trying for the screen, got it out in the flat, and Brown is run out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. Lovelace and Ryland Gandy. 0-0 the matchup there. So now here is 3rd down and the clock ticking. Virginia 2 for 9. Pressure. Calandria hit as he throws. Tyree the catch. First down, Virginia at the 45. Lynham the tackle, and Calandria got blasted when he cut this loose.
Wow. Another one of them loopers, Wes, comes in through the A gap between the center and the guard and right down the kitchen of Anthony Calandria, who delivers a strike.
What a catch by Tyree to the 45. And here's Calandria again looking to throw. And he'll escape the pocket. Pitt bench wanted to hold, didn't get it. Calandria will go out of bounds. It's a 9-yard run, almost 10 for the first down. The crowd booing. O'Brien was there defensively on Calandria, but Pitt fans are thinking there was a holding call missed here.
Well, they're not wrong. It was on the right tackle, 54. Blake Steen. And the the Pitt coaches are 100% correct, I can see why they're upset.
Kobe Pace in the backfield. Calandria fakes the toss. Now for Pace. Caught it, first down, cuts it back to the 35, and George makes the stop, but Virginia's offensive momentum is back on the long throw to Tyree.
Well, let's show you what Pittsburgh's coaching staff and sideline is worked up over. It's right there. And you're going to see 97 stacked up against Steen. Right. Yanking him.
Yeah. First down, or give is Kobe Pace. And he'll roll through for right at about 6 on the play. And we've got an injured Pitt player. That's Ryland Gandy, the corner, shaken up. And that's going to get us to a timeout ahead of 7 minutes to play. Still a 2-point lead for Virginia. Cavaliers threatening here tonight when we continue. Field under his own power, and you see him jogging now to stay loose. Dana, watch out, he was sneaking up on you. Second down as Pat Narduzzi's team is fighting now to stay on this list. They're 3-1 after the loss at SMU last week, and they trail 2 here, and Virginia driving. And the give inside is Pace on second down. It's going to be 3rd and a full 2 after the stop there. Maybe a little more than 2. Gandy runs back on the field to replace Crowley, who spilled him a moment ago. And now Virginia quickly to the line. They're going to hand the ball inside, and that is stacked up with Pace on 3rd down. Calandria litigating that he broke the 23. And Virginia is going to go for this. And here comes
unbalanced
Grady Brosterhouse. Here comes the Grady bunch, Tom.
The Grady bunch and 2 extra offensive linemen.
Yep. And there's Big Grady Brosterhouse, 6'2", 215 from just outside of Charlotte. And I don't think Grady got it. It looked like a late snap and a late move offensively for Virginia. Nate Black and whistles blow. We got a little bit of confusion here. What do we have?
The officials were not in position for the previous play. It's still 4th down.
So a replay on 4th down because officials were not in position according to the referee. And Pat Narduzzi is at the numbers talking to Nate Black.
Wow.
I will say they
going to replay the down because the officials weren't ready.
The center judge was still around the huddle. Now they're going to hand the ball to Pace. He's got the first down. At the 21, Brookins the stop. And the clock inside 6 minutes. Pitt with only 2 timeouts to go. Pat Narduzzi is not happy at all with that last sequence. First down and 10 after the run by Pace. 10th play of the drive for Virginia. Calandria to throw. Tyree the catch, helped out of bounds by McMillan. And a flag down across the way, I believe.
All right, you see the official right there? Brosterhouse doesn't know he's there, so he doesn't think to not snap the football until he moves back and out of the way.
Wow. And now a penalty for offside on Matlack. And now all of a sudden first down and 5 or roughly thereof. And the clock now is also the opponent of Pitt. Here's Calandria throwing and incomplete. Intended for Andre Green Jr. Tom, I have a question. Why is Virginia throwing the football?
With the way they've run it, 4.5 yards per carry here.
Yeah.
And they're throwing it.
Second down and 5. Here's the next snap for Elliott's team. Tony Elliott with 3 road wins on the ACC trail as head coach of the Cavaliers, trying to win against a team in the top 20 of the CFP. Going to hand the ball to Pace. Kobe looking for room, and it'll be close to the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1, maybe a little less after the Matlack tackle. And inside of 5 minutes to play now.
That's a good, hard run by Kobe Pace. A lot of blue jerseys in that box, Wes.
Yep.
Virginia doesn't have the right number count. Well, now they're going to get into it.
Oh, and they're burning clock, too.
They certainly are.
Pace stacked up. And I think he's got it. And the next snap will take place with around 3:45 to play.
It's Kobe Pace just pushing the pile.
Yep. And now
Anthony Calandria knows what's at stake here, Wes.
Yep.
They're trying to get to bowl eligibility.
They're going to hand the ball to Brown, and that goes nowhere. Tackle made by James. Now it'll be interesting, Tom. Right about 3 minutes where they have to snap it again here. Pat Narduzzi's got 2 timeouts left. Virginia can run this down in the ballpark of about 2 minutes, I think. Maybe a little less than 2 minutes before they have to decide. And then if it's a field goal and Bettridge makes it, it then becomes touchdown or bust for Pitt.
No doubt.
Play clock at 2. Here's Calandria. Wants to throw. End zone. It is broken up. Trying to dial Sackett Wood. And Donovan McMillan slapped it out of there.
Boy, and if Anthony Calandria could have seen this a half a second earlier, because this ball hung in the air for so long that it allowed Donovan McMillan to retreat and make the play. Look at how wide open. Whoa.
That's a heck of a play by McMillan.
It's a fantastic effort play. Sackett Wood wide open in the back of the end zone, just a bit late.
3rd down for Virginia. Going to throw the ball, and the Cavaliers will be taken down at the 15 with 2:45 to go. And the clock continues to move. It'll be 4th down. Lovelace got Andre Green to the ground. And Virginia, I think, will let this wind down, call a timeout, and ask Bettridge to kick the field goal.
Yeah, right now, that's what Pat Narduzzi's doing, looking across the sideline to see who's going to call one first.
He's got 2. Yep. Tony Elliott's got all 3.
Tony Elliott's going to be glad to let this drain down, call himself a timeout, line up and kick a field goal.
Well, the Cavaliers have got their longest drive of the year going here, Tom. 15 plays. Their longest drive prior to this 14. Look at the smile on Tony Elliott's face.
It'll be 30 seconds.
Well, I was mentioning how critical this is for Virginia to get to bowl eligibility, because you look at the back half of their schedule, which is one of the more difficult remaining schedules in the ACC. So you get this one to get to 5 wins on the road versus a ranked Pitt team, that just propels you.
Yep.
Gives you confidence, gets you reignited. Clearly the offensive line for Virginia is retooled, was ready to play tonight.
By the way, next team will be 8-1. The one after that's got 1 loss.
Yep.
And then the Hokies, who are 5-5. And it doesn't matter what record Virginia Tech is when those 2 play.
And Tony Elliott's clearly made progress with this football team in a short period of time. What a big one this would be.
Bettridge from 32.5. Kick away. And it is good with 2:06 to play. So Will Bettridge kicks a 32-yard field goal. It's a 16-play, 60-yard drive in 8:26 time.
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 4 seconds.
And the Cavaliers have made it a 5-point lead.
And Pitt, without Eli Holstein under center, Nate Yarnell's come in relief.
He led them to one drive that ended on a Bartholomew 4-yard touchdown catch.
No Mumpfield. Had some banged up injuries throughout this game for Pitt on offense, trying to mix and match and get the pieces together.
Well, if Pitt wants to stay in the race, the ACC race, Tom, and the race to the CFP, they got to go find a way.
They got to find a way right here.
Yep. So Sparks will kick it away. Kenny Johnson and Derek Davis Jr. are deep. And Johnson will let this hit into the far corner. And Pitt's chances at a potential bid to the ACC championship hang in the balance here with 2:04 to go and 2 timeouts for their 10th-year head coach. And Nate Yarnell, it's funny how the twist and the road turns a little bit in college football. A guy who's got 3 career starts and playing in his 12th game tonight, who lost that quarterback competition in August to Eli Holstein, Tom, has got to go win it now. Reed in the backfield. Yarnell on first down. Under duress. Tries to escape the pocket. Steps up and it'll be flipped around by Chico Bennett. Well, we have not called Bennett's name tonight. Made his 30th start, his 19th straight, and Pitt has burned a timeout. Or Virginia. Oh, 2-minute timeout. Thank you. Sorry. 2-minute timeout. We'll step aside. It's on the line in Pitt when we continue. We're back at Pitt. 24-19 Virginia trying to pull the upset, take the Panthers out of that frontline challenge in the ACC. Here's Yarnell out of the 2-minute timeout, looping it, and it's caught. That's Reed, first down, inbounds, and then shoved out. Kendron Smith knocked him out. Panthers thought he was already out of bounds. Reed is hobbling. And it's measured. We got a flag. Roughing the passer, 15 on top of that.
Adds it into play. First down.
Another look, Lukes.
Yeah, see the hit on Yarnell.
That's Butler.
Yeah, it sure is. And then they could have added on a late hit out of bounds on Desmond Reed and Kendron Smith.
Yeah. 6th penalty on Virginia, 80 yards. Remember now, it's a 5-point deficit. It's touchdown or bust for the Panthers. With under 2 to go now. Each school with 2 timeouts. Carter has come in the game. Remember, Reed was hobbled a little bit after the pass play a moment ago. Here's Yarnell from the pocket. Sidearm throw, incomplete to Bartholomew. Clock stops with 1:45 to go.
You got the roughing the passer on that previous play with Nate Yarnell. You look at Desmond Reed here. He's clearly in the white. No call from the line judge, the officiating crew on that side of it. Here's Desmond Reed back in the lineup. So much on the line right here for Pitt, especially with the transactions that took place in the ACC today.
Here's Yarnell again up in the pocket, sailing it downfield, intercepted. Corey Thomas. Thomas pulls it away on a ball intended for Poppy Williams. The young man from Pittsburgh gets the interception and is racing to, I'm sure, his family to find them in the seats. Out of Penn Hills High School, he comes away with an interception, and now with 1:40 to go, he puts the ball up in the seats, and there's his mom. How about that?
Great sweatshirt from mom there.
And the ball at the 14 after Pitt's second turnover of the night, and the run for Brown and a timeout with 1:34 to go.
Second charge timeout, Pitt. It'll be 30 seconds.
Take a look at this interception. Now, I don't know how Nate Yarnell didn't see him. You see the split half safety right there. And once the ball snapped, he actually works more to the middle of the field, and he's just waiting. They switch off. Virginia defenders very disciplined. And he's just waiting for the inside target. And the throw comes his way. And Nate Yarnell knows he just made a poor decision with the football.
And Corey Thomas, a storybook night for him. Jonas Sankers had big plays for Virginia, and Tony Elliott trying to get his 5th win. And Tom, you mentioned the 3 games left.
Yeah.
And Virginia needs 1 to go to the postseason.
To go, go to the postseason. And you know, you look at the remaining records now with the ACC standings, what they mean not only for an ACC championship, but for a college football playoff berth.
Yeah, there goes Kobe Pace for a first down. Cavaliers a 5-point lead. And Pat Narduzzi looking on with 1 timeout. Wow. A second loss for Pitt. Clemson's here next Saturday. Miami is off.
SMU wins the weekend.
They win the weekend and didn't even have to get taped up.
Yep.
By the way, the Mustangs will welcome Boston College at 3:30 on the ESPN family of networks next Saturday to Ford Stadium. And Virginia will run it with pace. It'll be their 5th win against Pitt in 15 games.
3rd charge timeout.
In the history of the series, Pitt had won 6 of the last 7, including 2 straight. And Corey Thomas telling Virginia the Sharks are in the white tonight. And my man James Jackson with the helmet buckled up all night.
Tony Elliott still coaching his tail off right now.
Yeah.
He's got to be awfully proud of this football team. You look back 2 weeks ago, heading into the bye week off of the North Carolina loss, 10 sacks you give up offensively.
Yep.
What a response.
Don't forget Huddle After Dark tonight from Acrisure. Been told the leaf blower may not make an appearance after last year's effort.
The infamous leaf blower.
The infamous leaf blower here at Acrisure. Taylor Tannenbaum with EJ, Eric, Eddie Roa, Coach Rick. Great to be with those folks always on a Saturday. And there's Calandria, a touch of the knee. And Virginia, Tom Luganbill, has come to Pittsburgh on a day when the ACC race had a chance to kind of go topsy-turvy. It did.
And it did.
It did.
Started that way and ended that way.
Yep, sure did. Georgia Tech beating Miami by 5, holding the Canes to under 100 yards of rushing. And tonight, the nightcap here, the other team in that front 4, Pitt, takes their 2nd straight loss in conference play. They'll be 7-2. 3-2 in the ACC. Virginia and Tony Elliott go to 5-4, and they are 3-3 in conference play with a trip to South Bend, Indiana next week. And Pittsburgh will welcome Clemson. Anthony Calandria ends up handling the good work offensively. How about the night for Corey Thomas and Jonas Sanker out of the Virginia secondary?
Making plays, created turnovers in the second half, pressed all the right buttons, and really, most importantly, got this offense some momentum and field position to put them in a position where they could score, and boy, did they.
Yep, did they ever. Tony Elliott's a winner tonight. He and Virginia beat Pitt 24-19. And what has been a topsy-turvy day in the Atlantic Coast Conference for sure. And the Cavaliers will fly home to Charlottesville happy with the win, and then stay on the road to meet Notre Dame next week. And boy, what an interesting final 3 weeks of the regular season we're setting ourselves up for, Tom. A lot of stakes to be played.
Listen, there's so much still out there that is yet to happen. We're going to have some surprises.
Yep.
There are going to be some shockers. We've got the first iteration of the college football playoff released their rankings this past weekend.
Yep.
Excuse me, this past week. Who knows what it will look like this week? You saw the result down in Baton Rouge as well.
Let's go downstairs. Dana's with Tony Elliott.
Coach Elliott, you chuckled at the beginning of the game when I told you that you were 3-0 as a head coach off the bye. Well, now you're 4-0. How did your team gut out this win tonight?
Oh, well, we talked about we had to cover our debt, right? We owe a lot of people. We owe ourselves. We owe our community, our university, our teammates. And we had to play with discipline. We had to play with effort. We had to play with a lot of belief and a lot of toughness. And that's what you saw out of our team. We didn't play perfect. I told them we didn't have to play perfect. They just had to play well. And just super proud of our guys.
Someone who played with a lot of effort, your quarterback, Anthony Calandra, who you stuck with. What'd you learn about him in this game?
Well, I mean, he's a competitor. I knew that this was the type of game where generally when the lights are brighter is when he plays his best football. And so throughout the bye week, just told him, man, hey, get back to having fun, lead, learn from the mistakes, and learn from the successes as well. And, man, let's go find a way to win the game on the road.
Jonas Sanker might not have scored a point tonight, but he was pretty pivotal. How much of a spark was he in this game?
He's been huge. I mean, he's been leading us on special teams and defense, and he's been wanting to return a kickoff, and we put him back there early in the season, and he didn't have that success, but just so super proud of him, and like he's been the heart of our defense all year.
How about Corey Thomas, the hometown kid with the interception?
Man, super happy for him. He's a guy that, had to move positions, right? With Clary getting hurt, he went from nickel Sam back to the hash and coming back home to the Steel City. Just super happy for him.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dana, thank you. Congratulations to Tony Elliott. Winning night for the Cavaliers, 24-19. Oh, boy. Let's see what happens next Saturday in the ACC. Great to be with Tom Lugabill, Dana Boyle, Ben Ward, our producer, Tyler Honeycutt, our director. Terrific night. Driving Joe Smalley runs the ship on site here in Pittsburgh. We'll see you next Saturday night from Chapel Hill with the Deeks and the Tar Heels. Stay tuned. ACC Huddle After Dark with Taylor Tannenbaum starts